Alrighty. Oh, I'm tired. That's okay. I'm excited. Hope you guys are. About the tavern. I keep wanting to call it tavern talk. It's tavern table. Get it right, Bacon. What are you doing? Oh, welcome to the stream, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Very straightforward, very simple what we got going on today. We will be playing about an hour, as much as we can of Arena. Because I actually missed pretty much all of Arena last go round. And we're going to play about an hour until, basically until the stream starts for Iron Mace's stream. So that's what we are going to do. Let's get in here. I think we're going to start off with a little bit of Warlock. So I actually have... Don't worry, I'm going to grab the piece here in a second. I have somewhat of an interesting build. Oh, let's get our audio back up here. Oopsie. Here we go. I have a build that I am working on for a friend of the stream who asked for me to put something together. So that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to test out and see if I'm cooking or if I'm crazy. So the idea is kind of like a in-between, like if it makes sense, like a half caster, half melee. It's more into melee, I would argue. But we'll see how she goes. Let's see here. Get this ready. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and jump into there because Arena should be live. It should be ready to play now, about 8 minutes ago. So let's just go with that. So we get this going. Alright, so here's what we got. We have we're gonna drop probably the ceremonial staff. We'll see. We may meme with it a little bit. So we have a backup caster set, so if we get against a team comp where it's just not looking good for us, then we'll swap to it. But we have I wanted a Bardiche. I wish I had a Bardiche. I was trying to farm a little bit before the stream, just to see if I could just find a Bardiche. It didn't happen, so unfortunate. Unfortunately, it did not happen. Get out of here. You're messing up my organization here. So I'm gonna bring in a halberd as a odd backup. Actually, I might go ahead and equip it. I would run this Zweihander, but you know what? Let's bring. I ain't got room for this Zweihander. It's fine. It's fine. So here's the kit. We do not change any jewelry if we swap to caster. Basically the melee stance. Yes, our action speed is awful. We have terrible action speed. Terrible. But that's okay. It is okay. Because what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hit pretty hard. We're gonna hit 21.7 fizz power bonus. We get another 4 for that, put us up to 25. And the bread and butter is popping power of sacrifice on ourselves. Oh, that's the wrong thing anyway, so ignore that. Yep, weakness, that's what I want. But popping power of sacrifice on ourselves is going to give us 15 strength, 15 vigor, which is going to boost these numbers up even more. It's going to put us up into probably like 180-ish HP, I'm hoping. Maybe it's 178, we'll have to see. But we have 40% PDR with anti-magic right here. We have basically 50 magic resistance, because if we get 5 all, plus anti-magic with the 25, that's 50% magic resistance against basically anything but a cleric. Magic power bonus is low. But like I said, it's kind of an in between. And warlocks lately I find in arena have been more so finishing people off with melee. The curses are more so just for weakening people down to where they can get hit once or twice with a melee weapon to get the kill. So it's kind of the same idea. We are going to be running, excuse me, blow corruption. Oh, get that out of here. Get that out of here. We're going to be running blow corruption with the this build. So no phantom eyes. We got to be mighty careful without phantom eyes. Yeah, we're bringing a crappy blue halberd into the arena, so it's gonna be interesting. I just want to see how a two-hander does, and I'll probably end up running the crystal sword here shortly. So, alrighty. Well, I think we are ready to go. That is not arena. Yeah, arena. And we don't really need any meds. Double check spells. Yep. Perks. Soul Collector. I do bring Soul Collector in case I get no teams with buffs. If I can get a Druid on my team, I may, or a Bard, I may ask for buffs on Hydra. We'll see. We are solo queuing it in here. This build would be much better with a team stack. Like if I could get a guy on Druid and a buddy on Bard, actually this build would be kind of nasty, I'm not gonna lie. Because you could very easily be running 13 all, because I got 3 all. Yes, it's a crap ring, but it has all attributes, and so I need stats. Like I said, I need to farm actually some gear sets on Warlock, so because this is just all I got. I just pick up whatever I can find. I'm thinking that maybe a little bit later. I just pulled these. I just happened to find these in the dungeon. Nothing crazy about them, but I may just try tuning up the PDR just a little bit more. So that would give us from 23 to basically 40, and that's 29. That's only 19. So it'd give us a good little chunk more PDR. Maybe get us up to 45%, 46. And I'll see if that is actually worth it. What is it? X agility. So they also give us more action speed. So we'll try that. But let me stop yapping and actually just get into the game. How about that? How about Bacon stops yapping? And yes, I did a test stream, but I have a little bit of anxiety that something's not working, so I'm just gonna kind of peek around here, make sure everything is going okay. Make sure everything is going okay. Let's see here. Alright. We're in. We are in. Alright, let's get it. Double wizard comp. I would expect nothing less. Still 2-tap. It is a normal mob though. They got a bows, don't they? I have yet to have this map where it's not a longbow ranger. It's double longbow ranger. Double longbow ranger and a bard. I got 2-tap, or I got double teamed, you know what I mean? Bad positioning. Yeah, I gotta be honest. Very, very unfortunate first pick. We got double wizards. We're all magic casters versus ranger. Double ranger. So this is actually hilarious, because this is something I was gonna mention. I want to first thank you guys for all the support on the changes video that I put out. 12 changes I would like to bring to Dark and Darker. We're like at 12,000 views on that video, so that's, thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you for the haste there, boss. Thing I wanted to talk about, the Barbarian's gonna go for him, isn't he? exactly is the ranger? I whiffed. I whiffed. I don't run halberd either. Those ice bolts. I got good news and I got bad news. The bad news, because you always start the bad news. You rip the band-aid off early. The bad news is we're probably about to get 3-0'd. The good news is my DoorDash just got here, which is lit. I'm gonna try just for this round. Just to caster wizard it up real quick. Oh, I don't have room for that. There we go. I'm gonna attempt. I totally fell on purpose. I don't know how I can support these guys because they're just getting raged so bad right now. I got double shot at the same time. I probably could have fought harder and smarter there, but I just gotta be honest. I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with that, man. That's a bad matchup to start out with. Like, I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of that. But yeah, it's funny that that's mentioned. Or mentioned. What am I talking about? It's funny that that happens first. The very first match, because that's one thing I was going to talk about in a follow-up video. I was talking about, thank you guys for the support on that first, the changes. I got a few more that I'm actually coming out with just by talking with people and reading people's comments. And so I'm thinking about doing a follow-up to that video, just diving into different topics that people thought that was going to be brought up and that wasn't. So like one person asked me like, why I didn't talk pretty much anything about Arena. So I have a few things about Arena that could be changed, like a whole slew of things. Actually, one of them is class stacking, and that's coming from someone who's like, if I get another wizard in my team, I'm kind of like, I don't like it because either the team's comp is going to counter wizard, and we're going to have a much harder time, or we're just going to steamroll them, and it's not engaging. There's nothing it's just spam. It's just spell spam, And like, yeah, you first game on the night, yeah, it's kind of funny. All right, you spell spam someone to death, it is kind of funny as long as you're the one casting the spells, not not the person receiving the spells, right? But if it's like you're like third, fourth, fifth, you've been playing for a while already that night, it's like, okay, like I don't want to do this anymore. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up. If I did a additional video, if you will. Just gonna move the bandages over here, or the healing potions over here, I guess. If that somehow makes sense. Actually, no, because it's gonna push them over, right? So do I have it where I can, yeah, so there's no way from the fit, I can right click it in there. Cool. Alright, we're gonna just queue into another one. I'm gonna very quickly run to grab my dinner. Really quick. And we'll try this again. Maybe I won't completely whiff with the halberd. Alright. Another longbow. No, double ranger. So fighter with bow, ranger. Oh, this first my boy. Nice. Nice. You get all of them? Oh, that was easy. Easy. I was there the whole time, guys. I promise. Some loot. That's free loot right there. A little bit of payment. A little bit of a payment there. Arrows flying. Oh, I'm getting hit. Oh, what am I doing? Can't catch me. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, right? Got it. Ouchie. Ouch. Alright. We need to get our act together. I don't know what I'm doing. I hear so playing back. Oh my goodness. They rushed us. Oh, he's gone. Yes, sir! Well, I heard something at least. Wait, did he close the door? No! Did the rogue close the door on me? Like my teammate? Or did I miss that somehow? I'm so confused. Did he lock the door behind us? That's not gonna be good. Yep. That's not good. No bueno. No bueno. Unfortunate. Yeah, I gotta get used to halberd, man. I'm not in the halberd gameplay. Some random halberd I found on the street. Also, you know, don't we think bows are a little bit overtuned? Okay. bro. Get him. Oh, our guy died. I didn't even pay attention. The problem is I get slowed by this guy. I can't even backtrack anywhere. I don't heal enough too from Hydra. Alright.
You guys need to push him, he's right here.
Yeah, I'm not getting out of this headline. I tried, it did not much damage on that one. Yeah, I think I need to just go ahead and cast, I guess. I need to be the range for our team. And then, oh, I need to make room for, I need to make room for Elspeth. Let's go. I'm over here having to dodge, what, like 60 arrows? Just to wait for the thing to get small enough for me to be able to fight somebody? Yeah, Rogue's probably just gonna wait till the middle. Oh, he dropped. That one. Nice. They're working together. They're working together. Yeah. Yeah. We did it. We did it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Just bows versus rogues, basically. Am I wrong? What's up, brother? What's up, hacky sack? I had a hacky sack when I was little. I also had the, you remember the little games where it was like a paddle and had like a little rubber ball to it, looked like a string, and you go boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Arena is open. Arena is in fact open. Indeed. Yep, just opened. It opened about 30 minutes ago. About 30 minutes ago. So, I'm trying to test this build, and I've yet to find... I mean, I basically just keep getting thrown up against... I don't know why I'm bringing this in for this set. I basically just keep getting thrown with, ranger teams, or against double ranged, or triple ranged, or whatever. Which is what it is. It is what it is. I got more arrows. I had, like, over 20 arrows in my inventory. Good gracious. I'm gonna do it that way, so that no matter what weapon I put in there, I can hot swap. Alright, I'm gonna do one more, but I got food here, guys. It's actually super late. I've planned for the food to be here 20 minutes ago. Or, sorry, 20 minutes before stream starts. And, yeah, it didn't happen that way. It did not happen that way. So we are going to, we're going to keep playing Arena. You need a gold ball for collector. What's the reward for that one? What do you need for that reward? I think I can kill these ones. Nope. Alright. Oh, yeah. I do the same thing, buddy. I do the same thing, but better. I know I killed the thing I was leeching off of, but gotta be honest, I just don't heal enough. I gotta stick away from Hydra. Oh, hello. I think I stole his buff. Wait, that's not you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Flip it. Yes, sir. We're gonna win that. We're gonna win that. He wins that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. That blow corruption was nasty. Nasty. Now, if only it wasn't if only it wasn't a crappy blue halberd that I found right before stream started. That's kind of funny. So sorry though. It is kind of funny. All right, let's do this Y. Let's do this Y. Whoa! Whoa! You're very angry, Mr. Wizard. Oh, where'd he go? Do they have double wizard? Alright. I'm not getting him in time, I don't think. That missed? Alright, am I tripping? I thought I heard it. This, oh, he's over there. They're all three up. Okay. Okay. Let me out! You'll never catch me. You'll never catch me alive. Oh yeah. It's all part of the plan.
Suck, baby.
I mean, if I put my caster set on.
It's getting real.
I whipped. No, I whipped on. I whipped on him. Good French fries though. Oh, okay, buddy. Karma, you better watch your tone with me, mister. You better watch your tone. I don't know who you think you are. Thought I was gonna get hit by that. You're wrong. You're wrong, brother. No! Oh man. Almost got out of that. Chad, am I tripping or did that ranger hit me? Nice. Oh, they win that. They win that. 2v1. right. Ain't not a single clip, brother.
Sorry, I shot you, sir.
He did! He did shoot me, he admitted it. That's okay, buddy. I love you.
Tried to help, but I think he's dead anyways, but...
Probably. Yeah, well, fighter did hit me afterwards, so there is a good chance. I need to start spell spread that wizard. Oh. Alright. That was part of the plan. That was part of the plan, chat. Because I actually wanted to be on this level. I don't know why would anybody want to be up top? Oh! What are you doing right there? Really low, but I'm gonna go for it. How are we doing? Oh, is it just one? Oh yeah, it's just this one guy. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let the homies finish that off. I'm gonna eat some french fries. Do we want to group up? I'm down. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, group up and stream snipe me. Alright, see what's gonna happen, bruh. No. Yeah, group up, go ahead and group up. And let's see how that goes for you. There, buddy. Okay? Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, buddy. Okay. I mean, you may actually win if you're running Healer Druid PDR fighter. I don't think I'm taking you out. I got blow corruption, so I got a chance. But I don't want to give Karma the satisfaction of killing me with the dagger after you've already done 90% of my health, because then he might think that he killed me. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna think that he killed me. And he's like, oh well, look at the chat. Right here it says that I killed you with the dagger. And I'm like, yeah, no. No, that's not how that works. I know you read that there, but you didn't kill me. Okay, okay. I know now Hacky can kill me on PDR Fighter. I believe that. We're evenly matched there, for sure. But I don't know about Karma though. Karma might be. You could beat me on a naked rogue? Are you serious? You're trolling right now. Homie's got to be trolling. Light work. Bruh. You're a ragdoll. Wait. Were you in the ice cave? I will throw hands. I will absolutely throw hands. Oh, snap. Let me get these kills real quick. Let me get my stacks up for the boys. Okay. I see Rogue Double Ranger though. Alright, here's the one. Here's the one for the Zulai. Oh, they're already dead. They already died! Well, it's not y'all at least. It's not you. Good thing that guy went crazy.
I think one of the rangers is an actual bot. He was like turning 90 and then looking at the wall and shit. It was weird.
Let's see what we got. My boys got me, bruh. I'm perfectly fine. I see they're looking at me, bruh. Alright, I'll come back out now. Oh, dude. Oh no.
Bro, he's botting, dude.
Is he just throwing the game?
I think he's a bot. I swear to God.
You sounded
Like,
scared.
90
You think
degree
I
turns
sounded
and shit. I don't know,
scared?
it's weird as fuck. You gotta watch him.
He's playing on a controller apparently. It's gotta be. He's playing on a Wii U controller. I sounded scared. Okay, buddy. I cannot wait for arena guilds to come out. Oh my goodness. Worth it! What do you think was gonna happen, boy? Yeah,
I got fucking stuck down here, damn it.
Our wizard is low. I'm about to add the RIP. So loud. Be quiet, bro. What I was gonna do? I need to add the what am I looking at? Oh, in-game properties. I think they win this without me, so I don't even think it matters. Okay, I'm back. Uh-oh. They don't win it without me, bruh. They don't win it without me. I'm coming, buddy. Wow, that hurts. This guy's crazy. He's about to just completely diff me. Ah! Oh, that Phantomize isn't up. He got rations? Bro. Where would Rangers be, man, if not for triple shot? You know what I'm saying? Where would they be? I'm not saying Nerve Ranger. I'm genuinely asking the question. Where would they be without triple shot? I don't know if he wants stacks or not, but I also need stacks. Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Oh! That's a triple shot. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here, Chief. I don't know what to do. Blow that. Blow the gate, brother. I gotta get out of here. I'll help you kill mobs if that's what you're waiting on. Trying to... Okay, I dodged that and you know it. Alright, I gotta distract for him. Oh! Mr. Wizard, I'm gonna need some assistance. No! Don't whip it like this, Bacon! No! Oh, I thought it was one left. I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance anyway. He's hacking, bro. That dude's hacking, bro. 100%. It was worth it, bro, for killing the rogue with the spell book. That whole game was worth it, bro. Alright. So, maybe something needs to be changed. Maybe I think I need action speed. I gotta be honest. I think that's the main thing I'm struggling with. So I'm trying to use two-handers, and I don't have action, even with. Yeah. Dude creeped up on me, just pop, 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 triple shotted me, and there's two of them. So you're just like, you get one through one, the other one gets you. All right. Do we do one more on Warlock? I think I need to change the pace because it's a little bit too much for me right now. Let's oh gosh, I was about to do something toxic. I said, let's go play the one trick, get on Rogue. After all the comments I just got on the last video. I think I'll probably make some people mad. Hey, there's a one trick right there. Complete fighter. Alright. Here's what we'll do. It's a terrible idea. I'm totally gonna lose, well, I don't even think I have it. We're gonna put ourselves in the hands of whatever comp we run into. Hope that it's enough to win. Yeah, no shield. We don't need shields. We don't need Lightbringer. We don't need none of that. All we need is a spell book. We're gonna run Resurrection? Your elo's too high? Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot elo is a part of that. So I'm just gonna play like combat. But, you know what? Like how I just said that it's too much for me, and now I'm talking about doing it well. Kind of ironic, actually. Now that I'm running that back in my head, kind of I don't even have enough to cast that. Do additional. Let's do. This way. Yeah. Drop. Divine Strike, no cleanse, no look. If anyone tunes in and thinks, oh, this guy's taking the game serious, I don't tell. I only got 10 minutes to stream anyway. Aren't we drippy though? Drippy cleric? We don't even know what we are. Alright. I blame all that on the Rangers. Here's my next point. And why I don't like Arena right now. This 1x1 module stuff. Okay. I tried to save them. The 1x1 modules, dude, it literally just, if you don't play ranged, you don't win. Like, unless someone makes a misplay, you have to play ranged because of it's a 1-by-1. Because you can't go through doors. Because if you're in the doors, you're in a spawn that's going to get cut off by zone. So and also the maps, they're always open in the middle. If you're in the middle of the maps, like think about a majority of the maps in arena rotation right now. You can get shot from pretty much 90+% of the entire area. I might be able to bind this guy. Oh, I still have no healing. Kind of juked him for a little bit there. I forget how long 12 seconds is in the middle of a fight. I was like, it's almost over, and I'm like, wait. And it's actually halved too, because protection from evil. Well, not halved, but well, not even quartered. It's third of the time. But I almost have. The reason I say I almost have minus 50% debuff duration. So the 12 is almost halved. Oh. I killed my boy, I think. Yeah, you thought. Go take a timeout, buddy. Yes, sir. No! I thought I was gonna make it. Oh. I had to put them in the timeout corner, bro. Man. Oh man. Alright, we're genuinely waiting for stream now. I gotta eat, boys. My food's getting cold. Sorry. I love y'all. Like, I'm down to talk. We can talk, absolutely, but I can't be chilling here, you know what I'm saying? You know what I need to do is I need to get Silent's amazing artwork on a rotation, because people need to see that dude. Dude is talented. Dude is super talented. Like, not even kidding. I think they gave me an extra side or something. What's it? It's not. Oh well. It's like, draw, bro. Man. All right. Alright, I'm not gonna leave the game. I'm gonna turn the audio back down. We're gonna throw the music back on. Where's my stuff? Oh, there it is. Soupity doo doo bop bow. Wait, where my stuff? Wait a minute. Hacha didn't get your chat in my multi. Should be showing. That's why I didn't respond to you, boss. Sorry. See, this is why I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Let's get this going. Let me throw one. Am I able to do this? Okay, well, it moves. I was hoping I can go back and forth every now and then. Yeah, that's... I'm sorry, dude. I was like super old though. It was like 20 minutes ago, but it didn't pop up in my... I was like... I was actually checking and it's not, Huh. Wait, does it not have... Okay. That says it's updated. We'll figure it out eventually. It is what it is. Where's this at? It's funny because the Iron Mace Twitter, or not Twitter, Twitch, it already has people like in the chat, like ready to go. Not even kidding. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that'll have to, unfortunately, that'll have to wait. So if you type on YouTube, and I don't see it, I apologize. I do apologize. Somebody just said in the Twitch chat, delay and delayer. Guys, it's not 8 o'clock yet. We still have 60 seconds. Come on, man. Give him a break. People just want to complain sometimes. I'm not even gonna cap. Just being completely honest, sometimes people just want to complain. Now, I get it. If it's something to complain about. But, Druid deleted and then whole game is saved. What do y'all think? Would the game be saved if what would that really save the game? All right, I guess you are gonna close out of Dark and Darker, just for the time being. And put that there. Because I need to do this. Where is it? Yep. There we go. All right. Send it. Send it. So now we wait. 1 minute late. So bad. I'm gonna go play Tarkov. Oh man. So yeah, guys, once we actually get into, or once Iron Man actually goes live, our main goal here, honestly, is, it may not be worth much, but I'm gonna be trying to actively give my opinion on if there's any changes that they're coming up with the game, on if I think they're just good takes, if they're bad. Trying to be unbiased, as unbiased as I can. So that's what we're doing. But they're late, which I can't really say much about because yeah. All right. I will be right back. All right. Let's get in here. All right. Should I let Iron Mace know I want to collaborate? That's kind of funny. Wonder if all the homies are gonna like jump into like one mega stream, all the creators and stuff. That would be fun to watch. All right, what am I looking? Oh, I'm looking for L. Wait. Excellent. Excellent. There we go. There we go. I mean, I guess we're just waiting. Is that what we're doing? So apparently SDF is typing somewhere. Oh. Apparently he's gone. Apparently he's gone immediately. We'll see. We will see. Oh!
그래서 첫 번째 거 이제
Let's go!
뭐 크래프톤 그 에픽 어떻게
그건 그냥 적당히 태님이 요약해주면 아 제가
아니 뭐 제가 할 수 있죠. 그러니까 조금
잠깐 이 방송이 좀 잘 나오는 중.
There we
Alright.
go. Let's go! There they are, baby!
Hey guys, let us know in chat if the audio is okay. We tuned it a little bit before the stream, but if for some reason you can't hear them or the audio balance is a little messed up, let
Just
us know.
started. Woo!
Sorry, go ahead, guys.
그래서 얼마큼 깊게
Look at the banners.
그래서.
Banners are cool, dude.
우리가 얘기할 수 있는 것들을 좀 적당히
Oh,
잘
wrong
얘기할
one.
수 있는 게 플레이어분들이 만약에 궁금하다면
네,
사실
그래서
기사가 많이 나와서 한국 플레이어들은 그렇게 많이 궁금하진 않을 거고 좀 알 거고.
근데
해외분들은 잘
뭐
모르실
이상하게
거니까.
나온 것들이 있어서요.
엄청
그래서
많죠.
예. So, okay, sorry, yeah, just kind of clearing up like how deep we want to go, and I think it's gonna be, you know, there's stuff that's a little bit sensitive.
Understandable.
That's why, you know,
That's
I just want to
understandable.
make sure. But so I guess like the quick summary of the, you know, what the result was. So I'll also go into like our expectation going in, and then why the last kind of 3 weeks we've kind of been, you know, I'll be very honest, we've kind of been kind of scrambling because the result that came
Wow.
out, you know,
He admits that.
didn't actually meet what we thought was going to happen, right? So I think we did kind of suffer from being a little too close to the case and knowing, you know, the facts
Yeah, I
and stuff,
think,
and being
I think-
a little overconfident. So I
I
think
think this epic
we
stuff
thought we
actually
were
really
going to come out
shocked them.
with, you know, a full victory, right? And basically what happened is it came out partial victory, partial defeat. Okay, so for deeper details about the lawsuit is that there was actually 4 main components of the case. So there was three charges against us, and then 1 charge that we brought against Nexon, right? So the one that we brought against Nexon, we were saying that, hey, they're obstructing our business, our ability to do business, and at that time,
That's fact.
you know, we brought forth, hey, they're interfering with us getting onto Steam and Epic, and but we kind of shot ourselves in the foot because during that case, we were able to get back on Steam and Epic. So the court was like, hey, wait, what's going on? You know, what other? And we're like, okay, yeah, you're right. We concede that. Right? So now it's the biggie.
I did
right?
not know that.
The 3 charges against us, and so the first one is the most important one for us was the copyright infringement, right? So
Yeah.
that one
That's
was
the one
really
everybody cares
dangerous
about.
because that's the DMCA on, you know, why we're first that was the vector that they were able to use to take us out off of Steam originally, right? So this is why we were most concerned about that part. And so
Chat, look at
we put
SDO's eyes.
a lot of effort.
Dude,
to
he
show
looks so
that, hey,
tired,
these
man. I
games
feel so
are
bad.
not so in legal parlance,
Oh.
what matters is it has to be substantially similar, right? And so the other reason this was important for us is that the
Wow.
the copyright laws in the U.S. and Korea are similar enough that the ruling here could have a significant impact in the U.S. Right? So hey, this is where we have to really put that effort in, and then so here we came out with the victory, right? So that charge was dismissed, and the court found that hey, there's no significant similarities, right? And so this was, hey, this is where we thought the big fight was going to be. But then the second part was there's a unique law in Korea that was kind of amended in 2021 called unfair. It's called like let's see, I have my notes here. So
The unfair competition.
yeah, acts of unfair competition, and there's a specific
achievement.
Yeah, so there's a special part in there called Article Number 2. It's basically is like, again, it's in Korean, but this is like the the legal translation. It's like
I got you pulled
where
up now, Hotch,
infringing
by
on
the way.
another person's economic achievements. So that's the key word there is achievements without their permission in a manner contrary to fair commercial practices or competition. And so this one was scary for us, even though this is a more Korea specific law. There's not like a contrary law in the US, right? But for us is we were very worried about this new law here because if we're found guilty of this charge, the court could order us to shut down service.
Yeah, they could actually shut down.
So
the thing.
this
I remember
was like
one big
a
talk
very
about
very
that.
serious charge for us, right? And so we're like, okay, and so we put again extremely large amount of effort, our limited legal resources to fight this charge. And again, luckily, or not luckily, I think we put in the effort, and that's why we had that confidence. And so the result met our expectation. We came out with victorious on this one. And so the court found that dismissed this. Basically, they said on Nexon's claim of unfair competition through misuse of achievements. Basically, court said we do not recognize that the P3 project related outputs specified by the opposing party actually meets the bar of what designates achievements, right? And so basically they said, hey, what you guys
It was
did,
clear from just
that's
screenshots.
it really doesn't have any
That Dark and
commercial
Darker was something
value,
different.
It's like you
Same
just-
genre, sure.
so, and so going through that, we're like,
But,
oh,
like,
okay,
come on now.
that's awesome. But now it's on the third part. So this is actually a subclause of that acts of unfair competition part. Was there's a part about trade secrets, right? And so it's like it's that Article 2. There's a subclause 3/D. Okay, this is where it goes into. It's basically it's called infringement of trade secrets, right? And the thing was, so this is something we kind of now are more aware of now because of the result. And this is a place we actually use, again, we had limited legal resources, limited time, and we actually had to use a lot of our internal, even the development, the company resources to make, because, this, the lawsuit is kind of existential for the company, right? And so we're like,
Yeah.
okay, we have to put in all our guns. But then with the amount of, but at the same time, we have to deliver on the game, right?
Right.
And
Yep,
things
we
are
do.
slowing down because of this. And so, so on this part, we put less effort because for us, first of all, on the trade secret stuff, factually, we didn't take any of their stuff, right? We didn't use any stuff, so we're like, hey, the facts should speak for themselves, and so we'll just start listing all the facts, and that should be enough, right? And so for us, it was, again, in hindsight, things are 2020, but for us, we're pretty just overconfident that, hey, because we didn't do what they're charging us with, there's no way we're gonna be, they can find us guilty for this, right? And so what happened is, so it gets pretty technical here, but then the trade secrets, the court actually looked at it as two separate parts, right? So the first part is they call it trade secret materials, okay? And so this is like the actual assets or actual data.
Sorry if I'm
And
like
they again
not
here,
talking enough or talking too much. Let me
on
know,
their claim of
guys, if
trade
you just
secret,
want me to listen or.
materials. The court said,
I'm actually
hey,
very interested in that.
the Iron Mace executives, we do not find any evidence that they leaked or used P3 related data. And so we're like, of course,
Yeah.
right? Because so there's a little backstory too. Is in December, there is the criminal case that was going on, and so we got raided a couple times.
Wow.
So like my house got raided.
Oh, I didn't even know your house got raided.
Yeah, it's kind of frightening.
That was just the
You're like,
office.
oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that must have been pretty upsetting for the family.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it's it's things it's kind of out of your nightmare, But it's like, okay, hey, you have some kind of trust in the system, right, to go through this. And so the company, they took our source code, and then it took them forever to get the analysis going. So it actually went, the police confiscated all our stuff, our servers, our data. They looked through our phones, they looked through our messages. I mean, it was pretty, intrusive, right? But at the same time, it's like, okay, we want to get to the bottom of this. And what happened is, so they sent the all our data to, they have like in Korea, it's like a national police, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it actually went to the national forensics, right? And then on top of that, they have another, like a separate forensics lab, data forensics lab that specializes in copyrights. And so they were like, oh, because this case blew up in the public here too, is that it got sent to there too, right? And so you have two separate places that are doing, scrutinizing this. And then basically what happened is I think it was last November or December, the police, they said, oh, okay, you know what? We went through all of this and we're gonna actually dismiss those charges. So I was actually, had a criminal charge against me. And they're like, okay, yeah, we didn't find it, There's no evidence for that. And so that's why we were so kind of overconfident, right, going in. It was like, hey, okay, the police, and there's nothing. They put in their report, and, the court, we added that to our docket saying, hey, this is extra evidence that shows that, we don't have any other stuff. We never used any other stuff. So they're never, how can they find in favor for trade secrets? But the problem that now we're coming up against is what they did find, they recognize as a charge, is there's something called trade secret information, okay? So it's separate from the trade secret materials. And so basically, so we're like, okay, what is the trade secret
He's going to
information
explain this, but
we're guilty
it's
of
the
using,
method.
right? So
It's
is
the
it like
it's
some
the
kind
process
Yeah.
of building.
So okay, I'll go into what they recognize is actually our memories from when we were working at Nexon on that Project P3. It literally in the summary document is that it's our memories from working there, and it's the basically like the collective generalization of these core components. So of like an FPS game, and when he was leading that project, it's an FPS game that has
Am I the only one that
RPG
thinks
elements.
SDF looks really
has
mad right now?
a
Like
fantasy
mad and
setting.
tired.
It had a tavern. It had PvE, and back then they had considerations for extraction, but that was never actually executed. And because of that,
And the ranking system.
oh
the
yeah, and
system,
so
there will be shops or the
so there's going to be, he mentioned that there's going to be leaderboards, there's going to be a shop in the game.
Yes, all
So-
things only Nexon could have known, right?
Yeah. So to us was like, first of all, for us to even kind of
Little bit of
comprehend that we
shade
would
thrown
have to justify, this being the trade secret information like that.
That was actually maybe Apex Legends screenshot.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but,
No,
Yeah,
it's
Nexon-
not, you know,
Nexon exposed themselves with the extraction part, by
this
the way.
lawsuit was pretty comprehensive. Like they came in, we had to give him access to, you know, the police took like all our the
They fully
cooperated,
too.
design documents, all these processes. So they had, you know, they had all these things to compare, and what they come up with is like a screenshot of, because we didn't make, you know, any leaderboards or anything like of Apex Legends. Oh, there's a lobby with the 3 people standing together. So
네,
but-
한 10초 만에 만들 수 있는.
yeah, so to us was, wait, so they're getting us on the ideation and that combination of these kind of very generalized concepts, right? And then the evidence that the
Yeah,
court
Nexon invented PvP, by the way. Yeah, right.
presented as
PvPvE.
us using that is, first of all, it's they charged the 2 of us having these memories and utilizing those memories, and that's why Dark and Darker got built the way that it is right now. But they said at the same time we infringe on trade secrets because, oh, maybe our memory was not good enough, and so we had to recruit other people from P3 that also had those memories, and that's why Dark and Darker got built, right? So for us is, we looked at this and, you know,
Genuine question. Does that make you want to play
the
or
issue
buy
here is
games from
that
Nexon more
they-
or less?
that's what they recognize
Yes,
as
I know what
trade
my
secret
answer is.
information. I think we talked with the law firm, our lawyers, and we think we have, you know, justification for appealing this.
Is there a countersuit in play for this?
So the thing is, so I'll give you the up to date information now, is that we've actually put in a formal appeal to the decision. So last week. So this is
they're
why
appealing the official
for
decision.
like
Hey.
a week and a half. We were kind of in just shock. You know, it was like, oh my, is this even possible? What happened? How can this? You know, it was just like going back and forth with the lawyers too. It was like, what does this mean? Like, you know, and I'll be honest, like our faith in the justice system dropped dramatically after
Wow.
this ruling came out, right? But then the thing that bothered us even more was, they have no, you know, what they stated as evidence for us having that trade secret information was basically, court concluded that we used this P3 information and to save cost, and the evidence is because we made the game so quickly, we didn't have enough evidence of like pre-production processes, right? That Nexon said is, hey, these are prerequisites for making a game properly. And I was like, dude, the reason we don't have those processes, and the actual reason we were able to make it quickly is because all that stuff that they think is necessary, we think is BS, right?
PS3보다 빠르지도 않았어요. 우리가 더 느려.
Yeah.
Well,
And
what-
so yeah,
What
They
was
also
their
use,
assertion
like-
against the fact that, I mean, the game's built on Unreal Engine.
They also, yeah.
Anyone
I was
could
about to say
potentially
that.
just build the similar game on Unreal Engine. So what was the assertion
Right.
there on their end that you could possibly have built it based
They
on their
used
code if
assets
it
from
was
the
built on a different
marketplace to
engine?
speed up the process.
So again, now, you know, everything's 2020 in hindsight, right? We're looking at this and we're like, what's the issue here, right? I think one thing for sure is like the judges, right? First of all, they're not even gamers. So you have to, like, what we take for granted is, and then you have to explain, right? And then the second thing is, and you have an opposing party who has, you know, all this cash saying, hey, we're the foremost authority on what actual games are. And then they're not game developers too, right? So then this is the way to properly make games. And so, you know, and for us, it's like, hey, I think this is part of our weakness, was being too close. Is like, oh, you know, that's BS, you know, there's multiple ways. And we you know, we did counter it, but it was just like a couple sentences saying, you know, there's we didn't do it because that's not the way that we do it, right? And it's like, so basically they're saying, hey, because we didn't have those kind of processes, the pre-processes, and we moved so quickly, we must have had that kind of information to utilize to build Dark and Darker better, faster.
그러니까 장르 선정하는데 고민하지 않았다.
Yeah, so they're like,
누가
yeah, in it, it's like one of the listings for evidence is, oh, they didn't have a meeting about what kind of genre that they wanted to build the game in, right? And it's like, hey, you're an indie studio. I think, you know, probably you should have some idea of what you want to make before, you know, you start up a small team, right?
You don't just get a group of developers together in an office one day and go, all right, we're making a game.
But and then the second, another wow is, hey, we had a server programmer on our team from day one, but you know, when we're on the Project P3, we didn't have a server programmer. Like, this is gonna be shocking.
Actually, I bring him.
Yeah.
But
No, so he did. SDF actually recruited our server programmer.
my friend.
Yeah, his friend to P3, and then he got fired, and so that guy joined.
3 days.
He was there. He's like, "Hey, wait, what happened?" And so he's like, "Okay, I quit." So, but the thing was, so the court is like, "Hey, you guys had a server programmer? Oh, that must mean that you guys are scheming." Because, you know, how'd you guys know that you would need a server program for day one? And we're like,
All right, so this is painting a pretty clear picture that it's
so-
mostly
so-
just
so-
an understanding issue from the court's side of things, and that's not uncommon. Just to clarify, that's a problem that we see in the States as well, that there are parts of the courts that are just not equipped with professionals who understand this stuff in order to set the regulation for it.
so the most kind of disappointing part about that is because they, you know, okay, they don't understand that, they, you know, we're guilty. But then the amount of damages that they awarded was, for us, was, that's also doesn't make any sense, right? And so they go through, there's a whole bunch of so that judgment document that came out, at first we were like, oh, it was like over 500 pages, and we're like, what the heck? But then a lot of it is just like file names that they were like, oh, this was all leaked at the, you know, if you list like all the files in like a project,
Right.
it's gonna be hundreds and hundreds of pages. So the actual content was, you know, the meat was like 80 pages of it. And so like the first 60 pages were like, yes, this is awesome, great. It was like, wait, what the heck is the last like 20 pages? What's going on? And then you know, the justification that they had for why they rewarded those damages at that amount just didn't make any sense for us, right? And we're just like, even if, okay, all of that constitutes trade secret information, and you know, we're guilty for thinking of FPS fantasy with a tavern and RPG elements with those classes, and that's why Dark and Darker succeeded. Okay, let's say, or that, you know, but basically the court awarded all our profits from after, and so the other thing is like, you know, you have like NDAs and stuff, right? And they have like a thing, like even for memories, it has like a limit of time period of protection.
Yeah, it's been
And so
over 2 years.
It does say, oh, okay, we it's 2 years is that protection period. But then they're like, oh, but then if for the first 2 years when we're developing the game, we're working on the game, we didn't make any money. So they're like, oh, but that's kind of unfair. So we're arbitrarily gonna set the even though the protection period expired, we're gonna set the penalty period starting from when you guys actually started making money, and then that's why we have to pay the full amount. And so for us, that's the bigger, harder cookie to swallow.
Wow.
It's like, okay, and so that's part of our motivation. Is like, okay, this doesn't feel like justice, right? And so we have to kind of do. So I do believe we do have to do a better job of presenting, you know, the case, case in a way that the laymen, people that don't know the ins and outs of development, the difference between like how big studios and how in indie studios work, and so that was, overconfidence kind of blinded us that way, and so, but at the very least, that the damages awarded just doesn't make any sense for us, right? Even following the court's logic that they wrote in that.
So in summary, the case is far from over at this point. There needs to be basically a rebuttal.
So we put in our appeals, and so up to date, this week, the opposing party, they're not satisfied either, I guess, right? Because they've been pushing. They built this huge narrative about we stole. We stole this
P3.
P3, and
Captain P3.
yeah, and people that have actually played it, they're like, what? How do you, I mean, again, it's FPS and there's it's in a similar genre in the setting, but it's like, execution and vision and all the little details is just, it's such a vastly different experience, right? And the court, saw that, right? When we went to this court, so the preliminary injunction, the difference is we weren't able to force the opposing party to present the actual product. We were like, hey, you have to play it, you have to see it in motion, because the
Wait,
narrative
so they
they've
didn't
always
even
been pushing
make
is like, oh, these two screenshots.
Nexon
right? And you
actually
could put
present
two
P3
screenshots
Project
and go,
as an
that looks very
example?
similar, but the reality of it is the gameplay.
Because if so, that's
really makes
crazy.
a big difference. Okay, sorry. So I'm getting. Hey, we're kind of dragging too long on this issue, but it was just like
Well,
this.
So in summary, as I said, the case is not over. As far as the copyright aspect of it, which is what threatens the actual operation of the game, that is clear. So we're good on that end, which means Dark and Darker is not going anywhere.
So yeah, the last part I wanted to mention was that they, on their side, the opposing side, has also appealed. So it's gonna be
Gotcha.
Again, this is one big package. We're going, very very likely. despite
How am I
its
not
extent,
surprised that
going to the
Nexon
appellate
isn't
court.
satisfied with millions of dollars from an
They're
indie
gonna probably
studio?
try to attack that the copyright it is similar, yeah. But again, I think we made our case there was beyond, we made a very very compelling, strong case on both those sides. So we're ready. We have our armor on. We're ready for that. It's just like, hey, this other part, like that kind of did blindside us, and so I think we have to be better prepared for that. And we have,
We cleared normals.
So-
We're geared up for high roller lawsuit now.
So yeah, we're heading to high roller. So today's, this is like the gloomy stuff. This is the stuff that's like,
Yeah, we
it
gotta-
was
We have
like-
lots of
gotta
exciting
hold
stuff to
on.
talk about. We
Hold
just want to
on
get all
for
this
sure,
out of the way
boys.
first.
It was a horrible last 2 weeks, but we have, out of that fire, hopefully, we have much more optimistic things to talk about, right? So, the other two parts I'll go over really quickly because so the craft on stuff, that actually
Excuse me.
was in motion way before this the decision, right?
Mhm.
And it was actually, stuff like this was actually going on when even together, because we're both close to the case. Both sides were pretty optimistic. Okay, but the thing was, I think they had a different strategy for their mobile product than.
Oh, talking about the mobile game.
I think there might have been a little bit, like a little bit of impatience on us, because we readily admit we've gotten slower at development, over the last year, and I think that was the thing. It was like, hey, you guys aren't really, we were hoping that you guys would make all this extra new content and things are gonna blow, and that's not actually going as we thought. It was like, hey, so the thing was, all of that discussion was already being done before, and before any of that lawsuit. And again, the background is that both sides thought, hey, we have a home run case, right? So it was not. It was more of a kind of a business decision. It was kind of so it was a very amicable. We're like, hey, okay, we had some misunderstandings about the expectations, and keeping it going this way, it's we have obligations to each other that it kind of doesn't make sense, of the effort that we put in and what we expect to get out, right? It's like, okay, but let's keep close, let's be friends. So that's what happened, right? So it's not not like, oh my god,
just different paths, really.
It's horrible timing,
It is bad timing.
because it was in the
That's actually funny though.
right? So because we were still in negotiations, because there's nitty gritty parts of any contract, right? It's like, and so it wasn't a done deal. It's like, okay, what do we do about this thing, and so, but it leaked before it's concluded, and it just happened to happen right after this blindsided decision that came out, right? So horrible timing. So the epic thing, and this was, again, we're trying to digest this, right? Because I literally got that call from our contact at Epic two nights ago. Say, hey, I have bad news.
Wow.
And this is coming down from internally from their legal, and it's like, hey, we have to delist you guys. And it was just like, okay, so we haven't pressed the issue or whatever. I think it's just more, okay. So I don't want to speak out because it's all going to be based on assumption right now. Right. It was just like, okay.
That's smart.
But the way that it was kind of delivered was like, oh, it was already like, they're pretty clear cut that that's what their decision and that's how they're going to go.
It was already
okay,
decided. It wasn't really a conversation.
Exactly. Right. So for us it's more like, okay, then, it hurts because we have a lot of respect for the people that we work with directly at Epic. Like, they're just great people, just people in general.
I met some of the Epic guys when I was out there in November, and yeah, it was great. I mean, okay, it came as much of a surprise to me as it did to you guys, I'm sure.
W transparency.
Yeah. So I think so we're still in that kind of phase of trying to figure out, digest what's going on. So yeah, but that's it. It's like it really did feel like, oh, their hands were tied.
I think
right? So,
delisting means that.
Just to address,
Probably
at least because I know people are concerned about what's going to happen with their accounts.
Yeah.
For the time being, at least, accounts are still playable. If you have an account on Epic, you can still play the game there. You just can't acquire the game there anymore.
That's what I was thinking it was.
And we, as SDF mentioned, if anything happens where suddenly it becomes unavailable, we'll do what we need to make sure that people who have accounts on there can still play the game. So
our thing is our concern is for our players, right? Is, hey, figure out, it's really unfortunate that this event occurred, but
wonder what's going to happen to all the
rolling over is like, okay,
the game copies
we're already
that are being
put
sold
in an
on
emergency team, like, okay,
on illegal
so
websites.
These are the scenarios, right? It's delisted, it can continue, then that's not an issue, but we have to be aware of, like, hey, maybe they might actually take it off the platform eventually. Then we're putting into. But
they literally just found out. I don't think we can expect them to have a full roadmap
to help those people continue playing the game with the assets they have. So
when comparing it to, sorry, go ahead.
It sucks because we want to work on actual, like, fun, cool, and these things keep on, like, coming out, So.
Are you saying you didn't go to law school? You didn't want to do this full time?
Dude, I never wanted to be even a business.
It's so funny.
So he savors and this is life, right? This is all that. Like, I'm the guy that's like, oh, man, I just want this safe little cabin on the hill.
I feel that.
Yeah, but
on the
these gray hairs didn't pop up for no reason, you know.
yeah.
Wow.
So.
It's funny looking at some pictures over the last few years. It's clear the stress has been. I'm
Wow.
glad that it's slowed down. Like the development cycle slowed down a little bit to a more reasonable level because it was getting pretty insane. I remember when I was there, SDF was at the office still until 1 o'clock in the morning. One of the nights I was there. So it's good to see it slowing down. And just a quick closing thought on the Epic thing. At least for now, like I said, the game is still available, and in a lot of instances when games get delisted because they move platforms or they're just not available for sale anymore, the game stays available. Rocket League was an example that a lot of people brought up, which is that you can still play it on Steam, and we're hoping that's what happens.
Yeah, so you know, we're reaching out to our lawyers to figure out, hey, okay, what, you know, like where's the boundary of like what we should be considering and stuff. So
right.
So hopefully, yeah, you bring it. I'm not. I feel like my legal skills have significantly
Yeah, I bet.
improved, but still, like, yeah, I'm not a lawyer. Again, so at the same time, what I was talking about, this is my personal perspective of looking at it. And from, you know, the information that I've received here is like, oh, okay, so this is why we're in this situation again. But yeah, so the fight is gonna continue. We're ready for the long fight.
Over 10 years.
Yeah. So you know what he always says is like when that first, he's like, dude, it's gonna be 10 years, right? We're ready to fight 10 years, right?
Then we need to service this game 10 years.
Yeah, and we have to service the game for over 10 years.
You heard it here, guys. 10 years.
Wow.
So again,
Here come the doomers in
another
chat.
thing
I
is,
can tell
like,
you right
we
now.
built up a war chest because, you know, the expectation was that the fight was gonna
10 more
like,
years.
you know, like my personal expectation was like at least when we get to the second stage, because even if we got the full victory, what we were thinking is that they're gonna appeal anyways, so we had to fight anyway. And so, but
That's still just kind of
yeah,
puts
so that last message is like financially it hurts.
I don't know what to say.
But
But just the fact that
We're
Nexon
not going anywhere.
yeah,
Dark and
Exactly.
Darker.
Nexon gets awarded millions of dollars,
had that preparation.
and they're like, yeah, no, that's not good enough.
Years Dark and Darker. So I know it's, you know, this is a tough topic to start the stream off with, but we wanted to get it out of the way because now we get to talk about the exciting stuff, which is we've got plenty to go over.
Oh, here we go,
We're
boys.
working off lists on our phones here as we
Let's
go. Because, their printers aren't working, neither is mine. So bear with us as we kind of just read.
Printers
down the list
don't
and
work.
Stuff. But the first thing that we wanted to talk about was
Printers
kind of
never
actually
work.
address the community. And we're, you know, you probably have noticed Grayson is a lot more active in chat. We've sort of moved some things around to try to get a little bit more engaged with the community, and this is part of a strategy to communicate more with you guys on many fronts. That includes things like utilizing the Known Bugs channel. We're still working out the exact details on how we're going to use it, but we're thinking about ways where players might be able to report there with visibility from us, with like reactions to show that we're acknowledging these issues. Working on workflows
That's actually
internally
really
to
nice.
make sure that those things get reported to the team and taken care of quicker. Historically, we've had some problems with bugs that stick around for too long just because we don't know about them. There's sometimes they get swept under the table, and that's
Hot
just
swapping
the nature
weapons.
of development. But with this, we're hoping to improve.
Ain't no way
the
that's a
tracking
feature.
and accountability for that. But we also want to be a little bit more transparent. Obviously, throughout the lawsuit, things were pretty hush-hush. We had to be very careful about what we talked about, and we had to be very close to the chest about basically anything because it could put us at a disadvantage in the lawsuit. So now that we're
That's fair.
sort of, obviously we're not clear of it as we just talked about, but now that we're in a better position, we're more comfortable talking about those things. So you can expect more transparency from us in the chat. And that also involves getting responses from players and taking that feedback, talking about it internally and processing it in a more efficient manner. So with all that said, we do have a ton of cool stuff to share with you guys. And obviously, as feedback comes in after these things are pushed live, we'll make the adjustments, but it'll take a little bit before you start to really see the effects of that. So bear with us. But I want to talk about something that was brought up at a recent in-house meeting, which is that the the team is now looking to experiment more, and SCF kind
Okay.
of gave his blessing to everyone to say let's start really trying some new stuff. Let's really kind of think outside the box and don't be afraid to be a little adventurous. You guys want to talk about kind of the trust with the team leads and how the development for that has been coming along?
No way.
제가 그냥 설명할까요?
네.
Yeah, so
If he if
okay, yeah,
SCF actually starts delegating,
paraphrasing. I was at that same meeting, right?
if SCF starts delegating
So,
like
and,
really
I
well,
was translating using DeepL, but I got the gist of it.
yeah, but
it's gonna
so
be
it does-
crazy
you
what
know,
they can
I
do in
think,
just a year.
in the community, there's been some buzz about like, that kind of managerial style. There's been criticism for, that kind of micromanaging style. That,
Iron Chef SDF.
So, but the thing is, like, at first it's like, oh, Eagle is hurt, but at the same time it's like, hey, there's that was a moment of introspection. It's like, okay, wait, so, and so again, context really matters, but there are things that because of that method it is a big bottleneck, right? And
Yep.
and so it was like, okay.
I think he's
He
cooking.
it tells me,
but it is true.
Like all last week, he's like, dude, I don't want to be a macro. Like, I hate managing. That's what he says. He's like,
He just wants to work on the game too.
he just wants to. Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, why? It's like this is not something I enjoy, and why? So why is everyone, the situation
I just
comes
want
up? Yeah.
focus in core.
Yeah. And so the thing was like, oh, okay. And I think this is a thing that we're trying to, again, there's very many different ways, thinking styles here, right? And so it was like, okay, what is the, like, not so much, okay, this is an issue, but how do we get beyond this, right?
Some
It's
of
like,
these comments,
yeah,
bro.
that is an issue that
Some of these chats are
um,
actually insane.
SDF has to confirm everything, right? And it's like, and it's just making the overall quality of the product worse, right? So I think that's the other thing that we kind of getting from the sentiment right now. It's like slowing things down. And
It's
like,
crazy that people are saying that he
So-
stutters.
How do we fix
Too
this,
much.
right? And so
I guarantee you
okay,
that
let's get
person
down
who's
to
saying
the
that does
core issue.
not
It's like,
know more
I
than one
have my
language.
hands in too
I
many
guarantee
developments
you.
right now, right? And
Anyway.
it's like there's things that actually I don't, I don't really need to be involved with. And there's some things that I should really be involved with. And so, but
I'm
because
laughing
there's
at the
just
comments and
overflow of
SDF legit
information
just
coming
looks
in,
so
it's
tough
like,
right now.
First of all, you have to do context switching all the
Someone
time.
hit.
And then at
Someone
the same
screenshot
time,
him
you have
and
this
put a
flood, like,
parental advisory in the
even-
bottom
even,
left, bro.
prior-
Tell me that wouldn't
prioritizing
go
this.
crazy.
So it's like, okay, in big categories, and this kind of came down to like, hey, what's the most important thing? Where can he bring the most amount of value? Is for Dark and Darker, I think a lot of the original why people fell in love with the game is because of the core gameplay itself, right? And just having that kind of unique feeling, that first person fantasy power fantasy that you could fulfill in here. But the thing was then there's, so this is a generalization of like game development. How we do it here is that there's core gameplay development, there's the system stuff. That's my area of expertise. So that's where I've been, that's my experience for like the last 20 years. And then there's like the content stuff.
To help people understand what each of those layers is, can you give examples of something that belongs to the core, something that belongs to like the systems, and then the wrappers around that?
So the core, we would say, especially for our game, is like the combat.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that has to do with the actual like the moment to moment, so like movement.
Basic movement.
Yeah, movement.
So
is
like
actually,
hitboxes.
like, blocking. So all the stuff that everyone hates us right now,
Blocking.
right?
That's
Longsword.
that is a WSTF moment, bro. That is so
Like,
funny.
So all these things that are so
He knows.
critical, right? The thing was like, so and you guys have been very loud and clear, like, hey,
Hey, blocking
these are things
sucks.
that are being ignored, right? And the thing is, it's not like he said. he didn't take up this job because, oh, I love managing people. It's the opposite. It's like, oh, I just want to work on making freaking cool stuff for the game, right? But being in this kind of being thrown into this leadership role is like, hey, where everyone's expecting
It takes skills. Leadership roles are
okay, you have these super
they seriously do take
responsibilities. So
skills.
it's like, okay,
People don't realize that.
I'm a leader. I'm gonna take all the responsibility, right? And then that was kind of the internal, introspection. It was like, hey, wait, but moving fast while we had to fight, having a very clear, concise, direction. That's great for that. But then now we're in that growing stage, right? And we try to grow, and then using this process, it just hinders everything, right? Everything now you have 100 people all saying, "Hey, Dad, is this okay?" Is it, it's like, oh, wait.
그러니까 개발 초기에는 회사 초기에는 사람이 적으니까 그리고 자본도 거의 없었고
Yeah.
뭐 사람들은 우리가 엄청 큰 투자 받은 줄 알지만 돈이 아예 없어서 맨날 빌려서 했기 때문에 그때는 이제 실패가 허용되지 않았고 그래서 어떻게 보면은 최대한 한 사람이 디자인한 것처럼 나와야 했고 그래서 이제 컨펌을 다 했던 거죠. 근데 지금은 이제 사람들이 많아지고 훨씬 더 회사가 커졌기 때문에 혼자서 할 수 있는 한계가 있는 거고.
그리고 그 코드 이제 그러니까 그 베이스. Yeah. So what he's saying is when we started,
프로세스를 이제 바꿀 필요가 있는 거죠. 그 과도기에 있는 거예요.
Yeah. So the difference is that we have to the company's at a different stage from what it was before, and the issue is we were trying to run the company like it was still at the first stage where like the first stage was like, hey, we had very few people, we had no money, there's this 10
people in a gym.
yeah, exactly. There's this kind of false narrative that, oh, we had this huge, some rich daddy that came in and just like, hey, like there was multiple times like I was like, dude, how are we gonna pay salary or
Someone just said that SDF looks like the fighter, bro. That's crazy.
It's like the stereotypical like.
No wonder fighter got buffed.
Like startup dirty, right? But at that time, is because the stakes were so high, it was like, okay, we couldn't afford to have mistakes, and so that's why it was like, okay, if there's a mistake, I take full responsibility for those mistakes.
That's good.
That's why
that's what leaders should do.
Because if there's a wrong decision.
WSTF
you
for
don't
that.
need to worry about it. I have to worry about it. But once we're past that stage, we're now at almost 90 people, right? A little under.
Yeah.
90.
But, yeah, 90.
That
But
that is actually more transparency
anyone that's
than they've ever actually shared.
Hey, 1, 2.
I don't know if you guys understand that. How huge that is for like at least for me.
And responsibility, it goes up exponentially.
That's
attention that you have to give. Right?
That's huge.
So that's the state. It's like, oh, okay. And actually, we do.
They're basically admitting one of their main flaws
trying to be that
as a
kind of
studio
helicopter
is that they never transition from small gym studio to true
the town hall
indie
talk.
studio
It's
with
like, hey,
funding
you know
and
what? It's
a full
really
game.
Scary,
And,
even for
yeah.
me too. But now I have to let you guys go, and you guys have to fail.
Gotta
This is
teach them
also
to
important
gotta
because
teach them to
it
swim by throwing them in the river.
I think this is great for the players.
That's a joke.
to know,
That's a joke.
but
Don't do
also
that.
It's great for the company because it shows trust that the team leaders who have been here for a while now have sort of proven that they
Giving them a
should be
chance to
handled-
fly,
should be
sink or
trusted
swim.
with this responsibility, which is I think that's important because it means that they've got enough experience under their wings to start doing interesting and fun things and take some risks and actually try to do some crazy stuff, and maybe it'll fail, but maybe we learn something from it.
So, again, my my weakness is I'm always too long-winded, right? So
You don't say.
we're talking about a lot of
What?
contract stuff.
No.
The change. The reason I'm giving this backstory is because
Surely not.
So he realized, okay, I have to delegate, and I'm so sorry to we had really excellent people that were here that's no longer here, and this. If they were here now at this new stage, maybe it would be a different story. So, but the thing is, because he could delegate, now he could start focusing his attention on specific parts, right? So the thing is the big decision is okay, what was the biggest value was, hey, focusing on the core gameplay stuff, right? Like trying to
Yeah.
do all the content stuff, trying to do extra system stuff is like he doesn't have as much experience there. But like with the core stuff, that was all being ignored.
He's the
right?
engineer.
But that was what made the game so great from at the beginning, right? And so that's the concrete message. The abstract is this is all in the background. The concrete, what's actually going to happen is he's going to focus back on the core stuff.
Just one day, but
Yeah. So even one. So
bunny hopping will be gone.
so even so. I'm bringing.
They
this
gotta
up
release
because
SDF, bro, and
all
he's gonna
yesterday-
fix
all he-
every
all
core
he was working
gameplay
on was
bug
on
in like 3 days.
and trying to get
He's
rid
not
of
gonna
them.
sleep. He's gonna sleep
that
3
actually-
hours.
I want to stop for a second to talk about that because this has probably been one of the things that people have been the most concerned about is that we were just going to blow past all of the gameplay issues and the system issues and not care about all this stuff because we brought it up 5 months ago but then never touched it. As we're working on the bunny hopping thing, I'm sure there's a lot of people in chat that are very excited to hear about that.
Yeah. So, but you
And-
need to
and-
have
and,
this background context to understand why everything took so long, and then to also know like he worked on bunny hopping for 1 day, and like
and also that goddamn hot swap.
the hot swap. Yeah.
swapping
Like,
is
you know, the hot
Yes!
swap. Yeah.
Yes!
So this is because he's able to focus.
He
on
knows!
now. Instead of micromanaging everything, it was like, okay, you know what? Last week we had this kind of and the community obviously contributed too.
WSDF,
It's
bro.
like, hey, what is the
WSDF.
issue here, you guys, and it's like, okay, let's do it. I'm gonna let go. The content stuff. So the content stuff is now. He's like, hey, if it goes bad, don't blame me anymore. Right? If the bunny hopping stuff, if the hot swapping, that stuff, yeah, you know what? That's
And
my
the
wheelhouse. The
throwing
throwing,
Francisco
yeah.
insanely that will be fixed also.
So
Oh,
basically,
oh,
so
for any
again,
axes?
he
Like-
worked
like
on this
yeah.
1 day, and now I'm very hopeful because even after last night, I was like, oh, he's.
If they just add a patch that fixes the blocking
why is this
like issue with daggers
still here
and takes out hot swapping,
So it's not gonna be a perfect solution.
automatically
but I
the game
think
feels
we're gonna
better.
get the first,
Just from that, because it
patch
gives people
against
hope.
that coming in, this next patch, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I think it's enough.
Yeah. So he's very confident already, right? So it's coming in.
Yeah.
모르죠.
Yeah, today.
Yeah. So today, so 1 day of effort, actual concentrated focus on it, and we're gonna have a solution from bunny hopping, right? And so the thing was, hey, block. Yeah. So okay, blocking is. I mean, we just got started. Give us a little
so-
breathing room. Right?
Let-
근데 거기는 이제 그 네트워크 이슈가 레이턴시 이슈가 더 큰 거라서.
Yeah.
근데 그래도 뭔가 do something. Yeah, we will do something. Don't worry.
So yeah, he just say the blocking issue is a little bit more technically
Yeah, you're talking about multiple different weapons.
네, 그래서
challenging because
Yeah.
of network issues, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
It's heavily dependent on latency, right? And it's really like client or it's really on the attacker's side.
Yeah. So again, this is just a lot of words, but I think so. Bunny hopping, that's something concrete, and hopefully, if you guys will see that
What if they can make it so that shields automatically
with
block
the
like
patch,
mobs
right?
do?
And so
It's the only thing that changes the blocking is where
we
the
wanna
shield
start
is.
Talking with our actions again,
Like if they took away the
and
fact
so
of like
if he's
item or the
focusing
kit
on that
frames.
stuff. So
What if it just
maybe
always had
uh,
those and it
so
just
on
moves?
the system side,
I don't
that's
know.
the part that I'm gonna have a little bit more
What is
leverage on
this?
now,
Mhm.
right? That,
Why are people
and
spamming?
on the content side, we have our other lead game designer here, and he so if things are kind of funky there, that you know who to blame over there, right? But again, it's just we've been working as a team together and kind of getting that team chemistry working for the last 2 years. So I think now having these spheres have a lot more freedom is gonna hopefully make actual content come out faster.
So
Again,
we
this
had,
was implemented this week, like yesterday. So we have yet to
So
see.
starting now.
It's gonna take a little bit of ramping up.
Starting
this is
now.
going to also be part of the feedback cycle that we're talking about, where once these things get implemented, we will be paying very close attention to how it impacts players and what the expectation is to resolve it, or sort of what the ideas are around it. And as much as I want to continue with this topic, we do have still a lot of stuff to get through, and we don't have too much time to do it because I know SDF has some appointments later. So on the topic of actually like trying to get into experimenting and trying things, there was a mention of pretty major change coming between distinguishing normals and HR from each other, and that means returning to a more hardcore version of HR. You guys want to talk about that, because I know that's one of the big things that people are really interested in hearing about, and I think it's
Well, I think,
it's going to be interesting.
They're interested, and they're a little worried, right? That's the other aspect.
네, 그래서 하드코어 무슨 뜻인지 잘 설명해줘야 될 것 같아요. 그냥
뭐
옛날로 돌아가는 거죠. 그러니까 이제 그
okay. So
그 머지할 생각을 버리는 거죠. 네.
yeah. So I think okay.
I think they should keep Goblin.
So
merch.
like we're two very different type of game players, right? And so the thing was he's very competitive, very, very, very competitive, right? And just like likes that kind of the
Y'all seen the
grinding,
early videos of SDF playing like Bard in different classes?
Us, I think
Homie
that's
can
a
game.
great way
You can
to build
tell.
a solid
The homie's a
core
gamer, dude.
Play, right? So like the combat, making those things very solid, right? But the thing is that when we came out, that was very, very attractive, and a lot of people got onto it. But then at the same time, because it's so brutal, it made it, the accessibility very, very difficult. And so for me, I'm a little bit a step down there, and I was like, hey, if we want to make this a more mass appeal, I'm not trying to make it. I realize this is still.
I think that they've done a good job with that. They just need to lean more into
this is
normals and high rollers.
A little bit too difficult, for people to really get into easily. And it's like maybe we could bring it down a little. And so this was that kind of constant struggle back and forth for like the last year and a half, right? And so you've seen now is that we've made a lot of changes to make to the normal dungeons. Actually, so we applied that stuff universally because we had this kind of philosophy. Is like, hey, the high roller and the normal is like it's kind of this one kind of continuous path, right? And then
it should.
We had this assumption that hey, you start here, and eventually every single person should be playing high roller, right?
And we know from the 50% that are in 0 to 24 that is not true.
Yeah, but so the thing is like, so I think that the context of that message kind of got lost. Is like, hey, it's not a bad thing that 50% of the people are playing that. Yeah,
They're learning the game.
That was the realization that we made.
They're learning the game. Yeah.
People. But the thing is, hey, now, so that was actually like a signal to us as, oh, okay, we succeeded in that.
They need to
that
make
second
high
quest of
roller
making the
attractive.
game more accessible, right? That kind of pulling it down.
Yep.
But the thing is, now the issue for us is like, hey, it's lost a lot
Incentivize
of
going
that.
deeper
It's
into the
kind of diluted
dungeons.
a lot of that, the uniqueness, that the flavor, that the original game had, right?
A hardcore experience. There was no Squire gear. You didn't get potions to start with. If you sat down, you lost your rest of health. Everything was brutal. You would not, when you first started playing the game, you wouldn't expect to extract for 100 hours, and when you did, it was a very exciting thing.
Exactly. And so the thing was like, so that was the difference, is that we had this talk.
Finding a
like,
blue portal.
last week,
It's like finding an artifact.
Like, you know what? He's like, the high roller shouldn't be for everyone. It's actually, that's the hindrance. That's what's making the game actually worse. It's like, hey, it's like in WoW, you have the 40-man dungeon. It's not, you don't expect every single person to be able to go and defeat that, or you don't expect every single person to be.
That's good, dude.
At,
they're definitely
the
learning.
Top scale of like Counter-Strike ranked or whatever, right? It's like, hey, this should be its own unique experience. And so it's like, hey, now this is my playground for my original vision of that kind of super brutal. And so I was like, dude, go for it, right? So that was our whole struggle back and forth. It's like, okay,
nice.
It's like, now we have this kind of space here where people could kind of start acclimating, and it's like, hey, the people that do want to take it to
teamwork, honest,
is that's we lost that playground, right, bringing everything down here. But the thing was like, hey, but in actuality, what was the thing that made this game really
'Cause
unique and
Steven's-
sexy was that
Sorry.
those-
Steve's making me
those
laugh.
moments, right?
Because
And so it's like, okay,
he keeps
go
leaning
hog
more and
wild
more to the
on
right.
What your original vision for that?
So we've got
brutal-
so we've got
Yeah.
the context. Now we know.
Okay,
What
so,
what are we doing?
We're gonna, so we're gonna, again, we're really sorry that this is happening mid-white.
It's not saying I'm going back to Greed is good, bro.
But the thing
Greed
was,
is
like,
good
hey,
is
you know, first
dead.
of
What do
all,
you
he's
mean?
Super, oh man, okay, I get to do what I really wanted to, right? But the issue is, we know that because of the new systems with the random dungeon system, the continuous, is that we can't just. So the original plan was we're gonna go back to like the original system with the random
Circle.
portals,
with
the
circle.
dark swarm for the high rollers, right? So you're not guaranteed to
Whoa.
make it, right? So
Wait, did he say they are doing that?
it's gonna be a brutal survival rate.
No way.
But the thing is like, but we have all these additional systems and we don't know how this is gonna all play nice together, right? And it's like,
Yo.
I'll be pretty transparent. It's like we don't internally too. It's like not all the people here. We don't have enough resources that could play at the very highest levels inside the company, right? And so
They
the
get
thing
Terry,
is,
you
like,
got to get us. You got to
if we wanna
get. You
do
got to
with
get
that
content
limited
creators involved.
resources within the company to just find.
They got to get. They got to get the people who already love their game playing. Help. Let
we
let
have this
us help
concept,
them.
and
right?
we want to bring back that kind of original appeal of the hardcore, but we want to do it soon, and we want to get it fine-tuned and ready enough for the next season. But the only way we could do that is that we have to start working on it, testing it, fine-tuning it.
노멀에는 없을 거예요.
네?
그러니까 하이로
Yeah.
only.
So this is high roller only. This is high roller only.
That's not gonna affect
But
normal
we need
dungeons,
your-
everybody.
We need your help. Yeah. Again, so it is going back to test server. We really.
So it's going to the
Yeah.
test server. Okay.
It sucks, but it's just it's
They
a
need to
matter
update
of
test server too, so it's just
doing
infinite
it.
items.
Can we
my
do it
opinion.
internally? No, that's kind of the. It's gonna take too long.
I
It's
do
gonna-
want to quickly address one point that people have brought up in chat, and this is something that we've talked about before. We've been asked if we're going to do something like this, use the test servers, and we've tried this in the past, and overwhelmingly the issue with using the test servers for these things is that people don't play it. We get a lot of tourism on the test servers
Why?
where people will go and they will see the new changes and they'll
And then
say,
leave.
okay, here's what's here, but then they don't actually stay on and play it. So we don't typically get very good feedback from test server use cases, but the idea with our improvement to communication and trying to move faster to react to problems is that if we run into situations where something that we've now pushed live is on the server and people are saying overwhelmingly this isn't good, it needs to change for this reason, or that something mechanically is wrong with it, we will be able to react faster to it, because that's kind of what our new communication strategy is, to say, hey, the community is trying this new thing that we've pushed live, and everybody's like, actually this doesn't work, and like it's being abused and people hate it and it's ruining the game. The intention is to be able to respond to that feedback quicker and actually make changes instead of letting them sit for however many months. Test server unfortunately just really hasn't given us that capacity, so the communication.
Because
and,
why
like,
would you
quick
play the
reaction
test
to
server
things
when the main
more
game
the
is
strategy
up?
now.
And
Well,
you don't want to
so-
take the main game down. So they need
again,
there needs to be
because
like a
this kinda
like
internal
almost like a
change
creative
is
mode.
pretty
In all
recent.
honesty,
And
Incentivize,
the other thing,
make it
I do
super
wanna say is, like,
sandboxy.
hey, we haven't given up on the test server. It's actually, we do want to utilize
Right.
it. Again, there was so many things vying for priority. It was like, and so everything became the same. And I think this is something that we're gonna have to relook at.
Right.
Like you're saying, is that communication, that was another big downfall for us recently. I think it is kind of this perfect storm of bad stuff timing. Like the first one was, we had the Lunar New Year's here, and people were kind of burnt out, so it was just like, hey, you guys take a rest, so it was just like nothing, like literally nothing was going on for a week here, and then we did that drop, and then the lawsuit stuff that was a big mental distraction too, right? And so it's just like a little bit of that shell shock. We're kind of coming out of it now, right? Like having this talk and being it is pretty whatever that
Cathartic,
word is,
yeah.
right? Reinvigorating.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
clarify, it doesn't mean the test server is never going to happen. It just means that the current iteration of it hasn't worked the way we wanted it to. So
exactly, yeah.
they're we're constantly
Because
thinking
nobody
about
wants to
ways
grind
and
gear
talking
on a
about it in
second
meetings,
character class.
How can we
that
incentivize
isn't
use
the
of a
main
test server?
server.
What's the best use case
You know,
for
I
it?
already said that.
Is
I'm
there a way
sorry.
to limit access to it that makes it useful to us? It's not like we're never going to use test server. Just kind of explaining why it hasn't worked for us to this point.
Yeah, so exactly. Current implementation needs a lot of work. When and where that work's going to happen is we haven't rescheduled that yet.
Right.
But we'll see. But like communication, so Grayson, so I think, background here was like for Grayson, it was like he was working at the office, but a majority of the people on our Discord are international, right? So the time zones didn't match up. So now we're like, hey, you actually, if to communicate with the community better is like remote work, have the crazy hours at night, So
Which
it's like,
he prefers that anyway because that's his normal schedule. So
yeah, he's like a vampire.
So great. That's what I said. So they just gave Grayson
if he's in the
of
chat, I assume he's
Grayson's gotten permission to be a vampire.
he should be sleeping.
Yeah.
Before we move on real quick, can we just confirm, the patch is supposed to go live today. Can we confirm what is exactly going in with the new version of HR? Because I know people are going to be very curious about it, but can we give a definitive, here's what's coming to HR with the change today?
Well, yeah, so the definitive is this, the Dark Swarm, the Dark Swarm is returning, and then the pop-up, random portals are coming.
Is that for blue and for red, or is that just for blue for now?
So
그런 디테일들은 이제 계속 바뀔 수
yeah,
있어요.
so the thing is,
처음에는 좀 마음에 안 들 수도 있어요.
yeah, what he's saying is we're still, because those are table changes
Down to the
still,
wire,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, down to the wire as always. But so those could change, like the time again. So this is why we need that kind of the hardcore expert, advice for those people that play that is like, okay. The other thing we know is that because the reward table right now, that's going to be off skew because the risk is going to go up a lot,
right.
But then the reward is still not, going up. And so again, this is stuff that we're going to have that kind of conversation back and forth to figure out, okay, what makes this worthwhile for you guys? Because right now is, first of all, we just want to get that visceral, getting back in there and having that brutal hardcore feeling back. So there's a lot of different knobs, and again, so circle and random portals.
There was
That's the
less.
two big guarantees
There
right
was
now.
a lot less
Like,
ratting.
We're actually experimenting with Fog of War.
There was a lot
like
less
the
ratting
continuous dungeon,
when it was
like
randomized.
how bad,
So when the portals were random.
the entering time, like how far can we push it where it feels super bad, or
2 minutes is back.
unacceptable, or maybe it's like
After
oh,
2 minutes,
we
it feels
can't-
like
we
trash.
Can't make CMM work with this or not, but so
Well, that's actually a good segue to talking about some. We want to talk about the pillars that were mentioned in the first episode of Tavern Table, especially the social pillars, which are, as was talked about previously, sort of one of the main focuses, but also, the design intentions with CMM and the randomized dungeon. Randomized dungeon, I think, overall has been a huge success, and in CMM, in my opinion, in a lot of ways is really good. But I think one of the main issues that a lot of people run into is the enter game, leave, get the UAV, see what's going on with the lobby, come back in, and it just turns into a death match. Or you're like 8 minutes into the game and you're still dealing with teams. How do you feel about where CMM is? Is there any plan to change the way specifically like extraction portals work so people don't camp them and then play safe around them? I know it's kind of a lot of questions in one.
Yeah. So that last question, like extracting. So again, now we're kind of, splitting up. Like, hey, normal is higher survival rate. It's a little bit, more. So hey, if you want to camp, and they want to run, it's like, dude, that's the normal experience,
Okay.
right? So again, right now in our head, that's kind of the sphere because we just split it. Who knows? There's probably gonna be like we split, and then there's gonna be things like, oh, this was not that bad. This is okay, and it kind of swaps things.
Right.
Meets in the
But
okay.
Like the spectating stream, so it's not per se like stream sniping, the UAV. We internally
Hey.
call it, spectating
Appreciate you, brother,
and we
for the
think
follow.
We see that as a huge
We
thing
are
with the
watching
CMM right now.
the devcast
but the
or
thing
the
is, like,
devs
so
for
we
Dark and
have-
Darker,
We have
kind of just giving some
kind
info
of,
and some transparency of what's going
safety
on lately.
solutions that we
So
could turn off and on with
they've been
settings with the CMM internally.
they've been
And I think we're gonna
issuing
start
some,
testing that out on
in a way, kind of some apologies.
honestly speaking, like
Because
you're
the
not
the
really
ca-
doing a lot of,
the court case
getting
finally
back
just kind of
in the normals because,
ended,
oh, okay,
kinda.
I did all that
Although
work
it's
and I
not
got
over
riveted-
yet because
riveted gloves or whatever,
they're
it's like,
both sides are, excuse me,
it-
appealing.
it's a
But,
bigger issue for the high rollers, and I think
Now we're
last
actually
year
talking
with
about
the
gameplay
CMM,
mechanics. So
we had to
they
go
are
through,
heavily considering bringing back
efficiency
circles to
of
HR,
right, is that- but
which
because
is
now we're
I
not
didn't
trying to
I did not
have
see that coming,
right,
and I guess they're doing
it's like
something with portals too.
a
So
much smaller portion of the community that's playing high roller,
Right.
and so we're like, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? If we could improve the overall experience of this small high roller and make it a really good experience, but it costs more for us, we'll eat that cost, right? And so we could change around these kind of settings with CMM that will raise the server cost for us, but then that will make a barrier for that kind of spectator sniping. And so that's another thing that we've been talking internally. Like I've been talking with the CTO a lot this week, right? So
Nice.
these are things that having this kind of new philosophy of like, oh, okay, this isn't a game for everyone, the high rollers, is like, oh, okay, now we could start actually pinpointing and doing, highly targeted, solutions for these kind of,
Surgical changes for the hardcore experience.
yeah.
because that's where you're gonna get
That's-
RMTers.
I mean,
that's where you're gonna get
like I said,
cheaters
I,
at.
when I first
It's gonna
saw
be
the-
in.
the
It's gonna be in
changes, I
high
was a little
roller because that's where the
skeptical
loot
myself, but
is.
then
That's where the
sort of
gears
understanding
are.
the philosophy of
Where people wear
separating
gear.
the two and knowing a lot of really hardcore players that enjoy HR, I think there's potential for it to do really well. Of course, it's going to require some modifications, but I'm interested to see what happens with
Yeah,
it
I am
myself.
too.
I've seen some pretty good reactions in chat. It's I think come as quite a surprise to people, but I guess we'll it's like we said before, we're gonna push these things live and try to react to them quickly, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I do think I'll
Since we
be honest.
brought
I
up
do think it
the
is
sort
an
of
L
general
that they're
design
not
intentions,
using.
we don't really have time.
they're not
to
using
really
the
kind of
test server.
wax philosophy of the game overall and where we see it in 10 years. That's something that we'll probably get to in a later discussion. But we should.
Yeah, I'm
talk
not very
about
I'm not
the
very
social
knowledgeable
pillars, and we actually
Nintendo
have
when it
some
comes
slides that I'm
to
gonna go ahead and pull up here.
servers
Yeah,
and
so this-
how all those
regarding
things
the
work.
Gathering Hall, which is going to be
But
one of the
I
main
kinda
focuses
understand what
for
it
the next
means.
season. And Terry, during our last
Like
episode
preventing
of,
people from getting into the
Tavern
same-
Table, you sort of mentioned
Oh.
that the fourth pillar of the game being
Oh.
the social aspect was something that we really hadn't
Nice.
touched on very much.
Run it-
and
you
that
do
we
co-
needed
you don't
to make
do
it more of a
coding
focus
anymore?
because back in the day when people started playing Dark and Darker, the fun RP interactions in the dungeon and the social space is really what kind of helped the game grow alongside the hardcore aspect of it. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the
Wait.
Gathering Hall and sort of
Wait,
keeping
no, no
guilds
way,
and maybe even if there's any kind of integration with religion, etc.
bro.
The first
Bro!
thing is, yeah, so our, for next season,
Yo,
we're getting kind of close enough that we're trying to think of, hey, we
Bro.
have to prepare for the next season, upcoming season, right? Is that what's going to be the kind of, we want to put in like one
that
kind
is
of
dope.
big pillar system each
That
season,
is so
right?
dope.
Us for the
I
next
th-
season is that, hey, we want
I
to
didn't think
actually
we would get
start-
this for like a
we talked
year.
about the social aspect, and we want to put in some of the groundwork for that. And then the
Bro!
other motivation here was like,
Yo!
the tavern's gone, Otto's gone, but it's like, hey, he's still here in our hearts, but we want him, in the game too. Is like, okay, so for us is like the first thing is, hey, we want to give people. This is again an experiment for us, but I think we're gonna get really good data out of this. Is that, hey, we want to give people a space that they could call their own in the game, right? And so
They
wanted to do some kind of housing stuff, but hey, that's
they
a
listened.
lot
That's
of
all I
effort
can
for,
say.
You know,
They
individuals
listened.
Right now, it's like, hey, let's start off with more
Yo!
community thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry,
so the
Chad. I'm
first
so
thing
sorry.
is
I'm like yelling
It's
in the
gonna be
mic.
the return of the Gathering Hall, right? So
Yes!
the
This is
original
exactly
Gathering
what
Hall
I
is
said.
like a text base because we're
Custom
really being
taverns, bro,
Battle.net
for the boys.
1.0.
Yes.
The old Diablo HUD.
Yeah, so if you see the trading post,
No
you
more,
can
no
kinda
more
tell about
merchant
the
inventory
inspiration,
mess.
right?
Like, cut that
So the
mess
thing
out.
was
Like, let
hey,
me go to the
we've
to
kinda
the table,
advanced,
buy
we've
some
made a lot
potions
of
that
different
way.
kind of progress
Yo, that is so
video
cool.
games. And it's like, hey, so
I'm
now
geeking
it's
out.
like,
I'm so sorry.
uh,
I'm geeking out big time.
and we do come from this era.
Oh,
When we
my
play games
goodness.
and for building communities, like when we're playing CS,
I'm geeking out right
it's like,
now.
now everything is so the actual matchmaking, but we come from the era. It's
Yo.
like, hey, you go in, you get that server list,
Right.
and then you're like,
That's
oh,
a
okay.
W.
And the
That's
thing
a
was, like,
W, bro.
You find that couple server you favorite it, and people know your name, and because you play. at
People
similar
know your.
times, you see
They
the
watched,
same people
bro.
and stuff, right? And
Terry
so that
watched
was
the last
kind of
video. There ain't no way.
the
Ain't no way I
inspiration
drop
for
a.
us here. It's like,
Ain't no
hey,
way I
not
drop a
some kind of
video about being together, bro, and
server-
adventuring together. And
serverless
now
kind
he's
of
talking
deal,
about
right?
people
And so
knowing
for
your
us, it's
name.
like we pretty much re-envisioned the Gathering Hall as like a
Yo.
custom servers for people.
Yes.
And so
for playground and
yeah, for playground.
그래서
So
그러니까 사람들이
Oh,
좀
man.
놀 수, 그러니까 던전 말고 그 경쟁하는 던전 말고 모여서 놀 수 있는 공간도 있었으면 좋겠고.
We need card games.
상상해 보면
We need mini games, and we need 1v1 brawling. If they add any of those things, this game literally will have
yeah, so
10,000
the
concurrent
thing was
players
for this, at least starting
for
off,
months.
is we wanted
4
hey,
months.
The dungeon is all awesome and stuff, but hey,
Yes,
a
the
place
dungeon's
where,
great.
Especially going with the super hardcore mode too. Is like where
I need to be
you
quiet.
have a place where you're not always with the super high tension. It's like you
Yes.
can still participate
Yes.
in the game.
I need to
in
shut
the
up. I'm
community
sorry.
itself.
I'm sorry, chat. I'm not
But
adding
now
any of
you're
this
just kinda
other than
just
me
hanging
geeking out in the
right?
background
And
here.
so that's what we want.
Oh, dude.
우리 게임은 이제
Yes,
같이 하는 것도 좀 힘들잖아요. 그래서
And let me
게임
1v1
안에서
my
친구
boys. Let me 1v1 the boys, dude.
좋겠다 이런 생각도 있어서
Yeah.
이쪽으로 우리가 디자인을 한 거죠.
Yeah. So the other thing is like even if you have friends, it's like it's hard to even hang out virtually with your friends. In a
Didn't we
game,
talk
you
about
know?
this, Silent?
It's like you're just sitting at that.
Didn't we talk about exactly this?
Lobby screen. It's like, damn, why isn't he clicking ready or whatever, right? So and so yeah, if you see, this is our mock-up right now, the game design for the first iteration of the tavern, or sorry, the gathering hall. It is gonna be so the other kind of caveat here is that starting off is that it's all gonna be private custom servers though, right? So
Yeah,
it's
that's fine.
hey,
It's something, bro. It's something. I love The Sims.
Like,
Someone said I love The
so
Sims.
I'm kind of giving some insight into
No.
the technical
Slot
structure of, like,
machines is
how
crazy.
Our game is run, right? Is that every dungeon, everything is actually when you're in the 3D space is running on the dedicated Unreal Engine, right?
Mhm.
And unfortunately, that's actually pretty pricey, right?
Yep.
And so the thing was like, oh, okay, running one of these servers for us is when we looked at it and crunched the numbers, it does become a little unsustainable for us. So I think that the original vision right now is like, hey, we want,
My number
so
one
we're gonna give
house at
you
Gathering
guys
Hall.
a lot more customized, control with it. But then you have to actually rent the servers. It's like renting your own Battlefield server or renting or having your own Rust server. I think like one of the things we're looking is like, oh man, we do.
I'm
envy,
fine. That's fine with
like,
me.
what Face Punch has built up with that.
You make it worth the money,
stuff.
we'll pay for it.
Okay, I mean, they not like that kind of structure.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Right?
Yeah.
네, 그래서 뭐 여기
So those that it's important for them to have one, they can pay
Yeah.
for
근데
it.
그걸 저는
And if you don't want it and you just want to keep playing in the dungeon, then just be quiet.
루인스에서 나무
Is what it is.
모습을 보고 싶고, 그러니까 그걸 그래서 누군가는 태번에 그냥 체스 게임만 30개 놓고 체스 대회. 이거
Yeah,
so
there's gonna be a
saying,
huge,
like, you know, he wants to add,
huge
like,
issue
people
to.
be able
Yeah, you're right.
customize
If
it.
it's
They
not
could do things
privatized,
like, you know, you could go and chop wood.
it saves
and then you
it saves
could
them a lot
craft
of
that wood
stress
into, like,
because
you know, wooden chess
one.
and like we'll actually make a chess mini game that's not, you know, and all of the stuff is like stuff that was already
I
in,
could, hey,
Ultima
I will play
Online, you know,
chess.
20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Let's
right?
go. No. If
So,
anyone roasting chess, yeah, W chess, bro. W
you know,
chess.
you can make your own octagon in there. These are things that, like, again, that's
Yeah,
not
you
coming out
can't.
version,
Yeah,
you
you're gonna
know,
have to be
you
prop.
know,
So like,
but
if it's not
that's-
like
that's the way that the
it being
vision
a
is going,
paid
it's like-
thing,
So it's like if
I
you
don't see an
made a
issue
chessboard,
with
you
because
could
especially with
call
him being
together, hey,
transparent from the get go that it's
serious chess
that it's
players
too
only.
much money for them to drop. I trust him.
We have a
I
chess
trust him.
league, and people are gonna have to show up with their chess rating in the title of the Gathering Hall. So is this version of the Gathering Hall sort of laying the foundation for like guild halls and sort of just general social?
I would assume
spaces?
so.
So this is the first step into like seeing how receptive people are into, you know, having this kind of social space. And then the other thing is that, yeah, we do want people to be able to form, you know, guilds. Is like,
So wait,
man,
are
this
you
is-
renting?
So again, this is nothing's been decided
With, like,
yet, but
shards?
we've been going back and forth, like, you know, the actual going back to the hardcore vision.
We
is
are
like-
talking about real
so,
money, right?
Again, this
Or
is
they're
not
not-
happening this season, but maybe next season. Like, one thing we've been talking about is like, hey, for high rollers, there's no duos and solos, you know.
Oh, wait a second. No, so trios only
No.
on high roller potentially.
Yeah, only high. Again, yeah, again, it doesn't make sense. For
What?
me, right? But
Right.
so these are things that we're considering.
What?
But then, hey, if it's trios only, it's like, then do we have a sufficient enough system in place that people could readily find, you know, proper parties?
Oh wow.
That's going to be very difficult, but that's what we're hoping that this, you know, that the Gathering Hall could hopefully kind of fit that kind of hole, right? Again, these are high hopes. We don't know.
I don't think
But
it's
we
gonna be
won't
enough
know
to
until we
find
actually
people.
experiment, right? So that's our driving goal.
Yeah.
And we think, hey, if
Maybe.
that works, then guilds actually makes a lot of sense.
I
It's
think
like, hey, you come in,
if they
you know, I
fix the
played
class
a bunch of EverQuest,
stacking
and
so
the
you
first
know you're
thing
gonna get
I
a
log in
team
is like backslash G. It's like, hey,
that
everyone,
isn't
you know,
like
and it's
do
backslash
copies
G
of
guild
you,
list. You see who from your guild is on.
or
what
make
you
it so
guys
you can
doing.
queue,
It's like, oh, I log in,
and then you get into a
I go
gathering
into
hall
my
and you
guild,
can look for
you know,
people
my
in a
personal-
gathering hall.
or
That'd be cool.
Our personal guild gathering hall. You know, I have the
I hope
special
I've been in
privilege
VR
to get in
Tavern
there.
for
It's like,
30
oh, hey,
days.
oh, there's Odin. Hey, what were you planning
Help,
to do?
I'm
you know?
stuck in
And I could
VR
see you there,
dark and
right?
darker, and I don't wanna
That's kind
leave.
of our hope here.
Yeah, I remember early on SCF talking about how it was supposed to be sort of a MMO light in a sense, or kind of like a making multi-worlds, and I can see, you know, kind of where you're going with this, with being able to create these persistent parts of the game that
Oh, is it
uplift
'cause
the
you're
social aspect that
modded?
make the actual gameplay.
You'll have
aspect
to
of the game
teach me
better.
if I need
And
to
having
fix
a
something,
social
brother.
space where
I'm
you
sorry.
can just basically pop in and see, okay, who's online? We've got these 3 people that I normally play with are all waiting for a match right now, but 2 of them are actually waiting for somebody else to get out of their match, so I'm going to team up with this guy. That is such a great idea, and I wish we had that right now. That sounds super fun.
Okay, that makes a
I
little
know
more
a
sense.
couple people who are already plotting to take over Dark and Darker with their guilds.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, their
you know,
names are
my
so
goal
bad
is hopefully we'll see,
strange.
like,
Party
Odin's
chip and
number one
drip gravy.
fan base fan guild, yeah, gathering hall or something, right?
Let's be honest, it's all going to be Otto. Where's
And
Otto?
Boss
That's gonna be the
is
top guild.
talking.
Otto's Squires will be the top guild. Hey, I mean, the social aspect of this game is, like we mentioned before, a very important part of the game, and really one of the early driving factors of the game's growth. So it's good to hear that
W
there's
game
going to be
W
a lot of
devs
focus
L
on that
rat rogues.
coming up. So moving on, kind of to expand a little bit on that. I know this is a weird, somewhat of a weird jumping off point, but I wanted to talk about something cool that we looked at today, and just to keep in mind for everybody in chat, this is an early mock-up. This is not a finalized version of it, so bear with us. But we are working on an arena spectator system, and this is
Ooh.
something that people have requested for quite a while. And this is you know, it's a little too early to talk specifics, but we've mentioned before that we do have some interest in doing tournaments down the line.
This
Oh,
is my first time seeing this, but this is
Oh, really?
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
snap.
I saw my first time today earlier too when SCF sent it over to show up to the stream. But I was really excited about this because
I love the
the
paint
potential for
red line drawn.
us to be able to facilitate tournaments, but also for the
But it's a good
community to be
idea,
able to kind of run their own tournaments is really exciting. So I think this kind of highlights like to me an interesting turning point for the game where social aspect is becoming more of a focus and more tools are being given to the players.
Oh, sorry.
This is just really exciting stuff. Dude, can we talk while we're on the topic of this? Can we talk about Arena a little bit? I would like to kind of get us into the Q&A section here. We
True,
have
there
some
are-
questions.
Here, literally. Oh, it's copy paste.
Uh,
Never mind.
We have
Arena.
그래서
Yeah, so again,
Well,
Arena's his wheelhouse, right? That is.
그래서 일단 지금 아레나 시스템은 MMR에 좀 문제가 있고
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there's definitely issues with the MMR
Right.
system on the
Yep.
arenas right now. We know that there are, we were actually knew about those holes, right? And
그래서 이번 패치하고 아레나 테스트 시즌 2를 끝내고
Yeah.
아레나 테스트 시즌 3를 시작하면서 MMR을 좀 픽스를 할
Yeah.
거예요. 수정을 하고 그리고 그게 끝나면 아마 이제 정말 이 정규 시즌 다음 시즌은 아레나 제대로 된 시즌을 시작할 수 있을 것 같고 그때는 아레나 보상도 있을 것 같고
So the issue with I think because of those whole loopholes with the MMR system is that there's the faith in MMR as a representation of your skill is like it's ruined right now, right? And that's our fault. And so, but the thing is like it's difficult to start with this polluted data and then try to clean it up again. And so we came to that decision is that, hey, so we're gonna end this arena season. We're kind of chalk it up to, oh, okay, we messed up. Right?
we're taking the L on this one. We're taking
Just
the L.
taking the L. Hey,
But,
I
hey,
respect
all
it.
that data is
I
still
respect
safe,
it.
and we're gonna have it in the
And honestly, if
leaderboards.
anyone's
And
main
again,
complaint
we're
is
still
the arena
preparing-
ranked
thinking about ways
stuff,
to, like,
I-
have, the old like Easter eggs.
I
and
think
stuff, right?
it's
So that data
not
is gonna
that
be
big a
safe,
deal,
but then
personally.
because we know the fix for the current loophole, kind of what's it called, like MMR abusing. Yeah, we just call it MMR abusing.
Let's call it what it is.
So we're planning to cut off this, and at least for the next remaining time for this season is like try to get a cleaner representation of Arena. And then so we're gonna call it like early access Arena season 3.
Mhm.
It actually is like 2.5, but yeah. The other thing we're doing is that we are this next update that's coming out tonight is there's gonna be
Update tonight, boys.
The random
Confirmed.
dungeon system is being applied for ruins and the goblin caves also.
Oh,
And so
randomization
and we
tonight,
added,
boys.
So the big win for the random dungeon system is now we can start putting in modules just as individually. So you saw that
I
with,
think
like,
Ruins is
Inferno.
going to be absolutely
We're
broken,
gonna have new
personally, and I
modules
hope
in.
they prove me
And
wrong.
some of the new modules that are
But
coming in,
I don't think
like,
it's
were
I don't think it's
actually
going to be that
built
good on Ruins.
specifically with like Arena in mind. And I think you're going to see the refresh of the Arena maps for season 3, 2.5. Or, we're going to call it 3.
그때는
but-
좀더 그러니까 아레나 테스트 시즌 2에는 맵을 좀 좁은 맵들 위주로
Yeah, so he
했는데,
said, for this current season, Arena is like he purposely wanted to see how Arena works with like those really tight, tight corridor type of maps.
Wasn't a big fan. Wasn't a big fan.
다음 시즌에 아마
It's gonna be a better.
좀더 밸런스된 맵 위주로 선택을 할 거야 아마.
So it's gonna be a better mix.
That's
And
good.
yeah, he's saying it's gonna be a much better,
근데 그거는
because he plays Arena religiously, like
Oh yeah.
on Mondays.
Somehow
He's like,
I'm not surprised.
Sometimes coming late because he's like, oh, I stayed up all night because I had to grind my So he knows, yeah.
I just like
That's-
I'm late to
that's
work because I was
that's
too
like
busy
another
playing work all night.
Ulterior motivation for like 2.5, or the next season is like, okay, yeah, we're gonna update the maps.
So we're looking to update the maps. We're trying to
Make 'em
fix
2x2s.
some of the MMR
Sorry.
abuses that people have been going after, and I know people have asked. Go ahead.
wait.
그 옵저버 시스템 관련해서 좀 얘기하고 싶은 거는 이 옵저버 시스템이 아마 가을 정도에는 다 만들어질 것 같아요. 제 생각에.
Oh, so yeah, you know the picture you showed of the observers or the spec. Okay, what is it?
완전히 잘 만들어지고
Yeah, we pull
나면
it back up.
네, 아이언메이스배 토너먼트 한번 해보고 싶어요.
Yeah,
그래서
so yeah.
각 리전
이거 언제까지요? 언제 생각? 근데 we don't know. Yeah, I don't want to.
뭐
So,
올해 안에 할 수 있으면
yeah.
좋고. 그래서 리전별로 제일 잘하는 팀 찾아서 다 뽑은 다음에 이제 마지막에 선정된 팀 4팀 정도를
So he's talking about trying to do like once we get this system in, is do an official tournament, you know,
네.
Oh,
그리고 이제 선별된 리전별로 선별된
by region, right?
초대해서
Yeah.
한국에
region locked. Yeah.
여기서 대회 여는
He's like, yeah, dude, he's going
Regional
all out. You know, he's
champs.
like, hey, we're gonna fly them out to Korea and then invite them here.
준결승이랑 결승 그냥
Yeah.
한국에서 한번 해보고 그냥 우리끼리 재밌게
That's exciting
I,
stuff.
but,
뭐
I,
하는지.
그 생각 있어요. 그 한국 팀은
I'm about to start practicing.
이길 거예요. 제
아,
생각에.
근데 뭐 그럴 것 같긴 하지만 근데
I think the QA our internal QA team would
근데
be
이제
the.
그렇게 말하면
no, no.
한국 플레이어들이 이제 엄청
dude,
열심히
yeah.
할 거예요.
No, that's awesome, right? I think our
잘하는 사람도
internal
없구나.
QA team is we have some of the best players here.
I think everyone watching the stream right now would like to take a swing at him and find out if that's real, if that's true or
Exactly,
not.
right? So that's what he's saying. Is like me saying that I just put a big target on the back.
That's right. We got a bounty on all the Iron Mace developers now. Get out there and show them what's what,
not-
guys.
Not all of like trust us. There's levels even within the company. Like I try to play a lot, but I can't even hold a candle to some of these guys. So up there it's like wow. Yeah.
All right. Well, promising stuff coming for Arena. Real quick, I do want to just address, because I've seen a number of people ask about Arena rewards. The plan is to have Arena rewards at some point, but as we mentioned before, the
Next season, yeah. So he's saying that. So again, so the arena right now is
it's still a test.
it is
Yeah.
it's still a test.
And it wouldn't
And
feel
it's obviously a test because you saw like we made these huge blunders with MMR. It's like it's
Right.
just not ready.
and also I think people would, in general, this is something I've spoken about in the Discord, is that I think in general people would not be satisfied with us giving out rewards when the best strategy to get the top rank right now is to sit in the swarm and heal. We know about that. We're working on fixing it. So it's this is why the rewards are not coming just yet, but they are in the works. But we do have a ton of questions that we grabbed from. We opened up a channel on the Discord called the February 20.
All right, guys.
2025 Q&A, and we did grab.
I gotta
a
use the
ton of
bathroom so
questions.
bad. I can't hold it
we're running
anymore.
a little
So
short on
I'm
time,
gonna
but
let
we're
it keep
try to get
playing,
through
but I'll
all
be
of them.
right back.
And if we
Okay.
have some time towards the end, we will go over. I know SCF has some time restraints, but we might be able to show off some stuff a little bit later. If if he has to leave a little early, we can still show off like the remaining teasers that we have. But as far as the questions go, we'll just start right from the top. And again, these are questions that we got from the Discord, but we don't have the names attached to them. I apologize. Next time we do this, we'll try to grab the names as well. But first question on the list: have you ever considered changing the revive mechanics, especially with the random dungeons? It can sometimes be like almost impossible to get a teammate back. Just bad luck with res tables, continuous matchmaking, constantly pushing teams into you. Is there any idea of changing the revive mechanic for teams that lose a team member?
I hope so. So for me, I've never thought about this, right? So because there's so many other stuff that is just like way like fix the game, right? kind of issues. I guess maybe this is
저는 이거는 뭐 그냥 플레이 할 수 있다고 생각해요. 밑으로 심장 가지고 내려갈 수도 있고, 그러니까 여러 가지 선택지가 있어서 이건 뭐 그렇게 문제는 아닌 것 같고.
Yeah, so he's saying he doesn't really see it as an issue right now. It's like, dude, there's multiple strategies. You could grab the heart, go down the level, or and me, I'm being very open. Out of the list of things I had to think about, this was not even on that.
All right, well, I guess we'll come back to that one another time. The next question that we have on the list is there any plans to add new stats or adjust existing ones, especially stats like true damage and add damage, which are currently sort of dominant in most people's kits? They kind of prioritize building it over mostly anything, particularly true damage. Is there any chance to add new stats or address those existing ones?
It's a question for SDF.
네, 그런 생각도 있지만 근데 일단 시즌 내에 이런 일은 잘 없을 거고
Yeah, so
그리고-
within the season, he's not planning to do it.
네, 그리고 랜덤 옵션 변화는 아마 뭐 준다고 해도 다음 시즌 이번 시즌에
Yeah, so this season, there's no thoughts of doing that. Maybe if it happens next season, but yeah, like 뭐 추가할 거.
좀 없어요.
Yeah,
근데
he's not really thinking
뭐
of adding.
베이직 스탯들은 좀 조정해야 될 것도 있어요.
Yeah, so
뭐
there are
그건-
things like
좀
adjusting
다른 얘기지만, 네.
curve tables and stuff. Like I think even this next update that's going out tonight is that
네, 말을 해주면은 안 될 것 같고. 그건-
진짜요? 왜요?
그건 패치노트에서 보는 게 좋을 것 같아.
okay, it's 그냥 뭐 큰 거 아닌데요.
뭐, 근데 이제
바꿀 거
그런 거
같아.
걱정하는 거죠. 그러니까 바꿀 수도 있고 마지막에. 예. 아니면
오케이.
사실 그것보다는 사람들이 이제 시장에 너무 영향을 줄까봐 미리 말을 해주면 그래서.
Okay, so he's saying he doesn't want to give insider information because people that hear this podcast and not they're gonna have a head start on the marketplace, knowing wait, this is going down or this is going up.
Gotcha. Okay, so secret until the patch notes, but there may be
yeah,
some
it's
changes.
something I wouldn't even have considered at all. You know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Another.
I think you'll have impact, but yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Will existing weapons get additional moves or attacks? Something like the felling axe getting a right click for a new swing.
So
네, 뭐 그 최근은 아니고 좀 됐죠. 예를 들면 이 무기에 있는 바디시나 창 같은 것들이 그 디펜스 메소드가 있잖아요. 근데 이게 그 임팩트 레지스트가 너무 낮아서 실제로 쓸모가 없었는데 그걸 이제 버프를 해주면서 사람들이 이 무기로 막는 모습들이 좀 많이 나왔거든요. 그래서 아마 코어 메커니즘 건드리면서 무기에 좀 블록이나 아니면 뭐 패링 같은 것들 좀 더 많이 추가할 수도 있고.
okay, so
아니면
he's
좀
saying
다른
is,
것들 더 추가로
Yeah.
개발해 볼 수도 있어요.
so okay. The short answer is yes. He's thinking about it because now he's refocusing on combat, and so obviously the weapons, the move sets, like and one specific example he brought up was like like the Bardiche or some of the staff weapons, they kind of did tune some of the impact resistance on that.
Mhm.
And so he sees more people using it and it's like, oh, okay, that's a good sign that hey, if it's worthwhile in battle and we can make it can make the it's something that he would consider adding to more weapons if
Gotcha.
people use it.
We have a question here that's regarding are there any changes going to be made to Continuous Dungeon? I think we kind of already touched on this topic a little bit, that it's something that we're still evaluating and addressing as we go. But just to kind of address this question, are there any immediate future changes to Continuous Dungeon? Anything that we're thinking about in the short term?
그러니까 뭐 그런 거 좀 당연히 조정은 있을 건데 이제 우리 한국에선 난입이라고 표현을 많이 하니까.
Yeah,
좀,
the re-entry.
네.
So I think that's the
그래가지고-
part that we need to really start looking at and adjusting the
네,
most.
그 시간도 좀 조정해야 될 거고.
Yeah.
근데 사실 더 중요한 거는 이제 탈출이 너무 쉽기 때문에 지금은 그러니까 그 던전 모험하는 그런 그러니까 리스크 리워드 이런 게 좀 밸런스가 맞아야 되는데 지금은 되게 완전 캐주얼하고 이지하게 진짜 이지 액세서빌리티
Yeah.
높이고 싶어서 이렇게 해놓은 거잖아요. 그래서 그런 것들은 아마 조정이 좀 될 거고 이건 노멀이든 하이롤러든 좀 많이 다 조정이
Yeah.
될 거예요.
So I think he's talking about because, especially like the current system, like escaping is relatively speaking, historically is pretty easy now, right? It's,
Except in
unless you're
Inferno.
actually except for you're right. So so that's something that we're gonna I actually kind of consider is like, hey, so again, it goes back to that risk reward evaluation. Is that I think we kind of did underestimate how much easier escapes are gonna be with the continuous dungeons having
그거 확인해보고 싶었죠.
so many blue portals, blue statics, and the rate of reward, high reward items being able to be taken out. So I think there's going to be adjustment going on, but again, so we're going to do things one by one, and we're actually going to start like separating out, like have our domains to instead of hey pumping everything on and then one by one coming out.
Good to know. All right, so
Oh wait, so
Okay,
yeah. Oh, okay.
그 하나, just one more.
Yeah, so he had
그-
one more point.
지금 조금 아쉬운 건 이제 다운스테어 같은 데서 싸움이 일어날 때 너무 쉽게 내려가 버리니까 거기서 이제 리스크 없이 파이팅하는 모습이 좀 많이 나오잖아요.
Yeah.
그런 것 때문에 아마 상호작용을 해야 문이 열리게 한다거나 그런 식으로
yeah,
변화될
so-
수 있어요. 네. 그건
so-
조금 시간 걸리겠지만 한 2주 정도.
Yeah, the other thing that so this does go back into that risk reward. It's not just changing the loot table. Like one of the things that we're actively exploring right now is like the static down portals and the stat. There's like you have to actually interact with it to open. So
Right.
it adds a little bit more risk.
That-
It's not
so-
just you just
That actually
Yeah,
addresses
yeah.
the next question that was on the list, which was about dealing with people camping extracts, which is another really big problem, especially in HR, is that people are just they're sitting next to the Reds and taking very low risk fights, and if they lose, they just leave. So it's good to hear that this is being considered. So this is something that may potentially change in the future. That's very good to hear. The next question is related to mobs a little bit. I think mobs have been something that haven't changed very much in the recent time with the game. Are there any plans to make adjustments to AI behavior? Any changes to
that's a really good
spawns?
question.
There's there are some spawns that can be really difficult for certain classes. If you spawn in with like multiple Nightmare Axemen, you might just be screwed based on your spawn.
You back, baby.
Yeah, so I think that's the issue of us not going through, like reevaluating.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of polish that hasn't been done properly. At least when it comes to the monsters itself, is that I think so. The monsters, there are some bugs in the system, and so we're trying to.
네, 그 얘기를 좀 해줘야 될 것 같아요. 그러니까 지금 많은 사람들이 그 one monster guy 알고
One
있죠?
guy.
Yeah, the monster guy.
근데
Yeah,
이제 많아졌어요.
yeah. So there's multiple. Yeah, there's three.
설명인데
Yeah.
문제는 이제 이 사람이 테크니컬 디자이너였기 때문에 그 뭐 언리얼 엔진 이야기.
Which modules you talking about?
Yeah.
그러다 보니까 그 퍼포먼스나 아니면 뭐 퍼포먼스적인 문제는 그렇게 없지만 약간 로직 쪽에서 우리가 그러니까
I'm not following which module they're talking about.
이렇게 되면 그러니까 레고 블록으로 이렇게 조립을 하게 해주고 싶은데 지금 모래랑 그걸로 다 물로 다 차로 진으로 만들어서 이렇게 만들고 있는 거예요. 그래서 그러니까 플렉서블하게 변경하기도 좀 어렵고 그런 상태라 이걸 지금 다 리팩토링 하고 있고
Yeah.
이 리팩토링 다 끝나면 아마 생산성이 많이 올라갈 거고 그때 AI에 대한 어떤 발전 이런 것들 좀 생각할 수 있을 것 같아요. 지금은 이제 레거시에 만들어둔 안 좋은 로직들 이런 것들을 다 리팩토링 하는데 시간을 쓰고
그거를
있기 때문에
설명하고 싶은 거였어요.
네, 네.
So again, this is something that's hidden in the background. Is if you know our history, and we built this game like just hey off the shelf as fast as possible. So and we had the one monster guy, right?
Monster
he
guy.
did an outstanding job with all the the limited resources that he had, right? But basically, like he was just like, okay, I have this parts, and I'm just gonna. It's kind of like hard coding like each monster. Like he just blueprint all the behavior by itself, right? And now that has limitations because you're like, oh, I want to take this part from here, but you have to build each monster this way, right? So it's like he was saying, it's like he built each monster is like you had clay and then you have to sculpt each monster, right? And now, but the system that makes sense for us is like, oh, we should have like Lego blocks, and it's like, oh, okay, I want this monster. Oh wait, I need this part here, and I can make another monster, right? And so in the background, what we've been working on for like the last 3 months.
So like
now is
similar
that
type
we're
behavior
actually
between
been
mobs.
refactoring and making like an actual monster system, the first blocks, right? The problem is then you have to get all the old monsters and then remake it into here, right?
A lot of backlog.
And at the same time,
built-in.
we're tasking them. It's like, hey, we need new swimming monsters eventually for the next, the biome, right?
Right.
Um,
The water map.
and so, yeah, the water map, which comes with it's a whole another set of challenges, right? So, so until that system, is ready, not even production, is like somewhat set, is that there's kind of this slowdown, blockage for new monsters coming out right now.
So mobs are gonna mostly stay the way they are until this new system to kind of be able
But
to
that's,
take bits and
that's
pieces.
why it is buggy, because it wasn't made by a programmer, right? It's like,
I
oh,
wonder
it's
if
gonna-
that's why
there's this bit of
sometimes
logic,
mobs will
we're
attack
gonna
each other.
See how it works out.
Like, if
So
a
just
shieldman,
quick kinda tack
his
on question
shield,
to that wasn't on the list, but I've seen
if his shield gets hit by another mob,
people
there's
ask this
sometimes
in the
it'll glitch out,
Is there a plan
and
to
it'll
add,
automatically
like,
will swing
special
on its
version? We already
buddy.
kinda have, like,
It's
the
so
unique
funny.
ones, but is there a plan to add like special variants of the monster where like, oh, this one leaves behind a flaming trail, like it's got the special warlock, like the
Flame Walker.
I can't think of the name of the spell right now. The,
The monster, well,
Flame walk. Like give a monster flame walk, or give a monster like an ice shield or something.
뭐 몬스터가
뭐.
특별히 이벤트 준다고요?
그러니까 같은 monster인데요. 그냥 버전이 조금
So like putting perks from players onto different mobs, maybe.
kind of like unique monster. 근데 뭐 얘는 지금 이제 예를 들면 뭐 플레이머.
뭐
So again, this is we never thought of you said, oh, this is real time. Like, oh wait, that's not a bad idea.
그러니까 이런 아이디어
They should change the bubble from mage
Yeah.
to
So
the
the thing
bubble
is,
from wizard so you can
yeah.
break it and go ahead and kill him.
Having what he's saying is having a pool of these kind of ideas to just like when we have the system in place, and then our monster guys now. It's that monster guys. Okay.
He's
Monster Guy's
plural
not
now.
one guy anymore.
He's plural.
So, but again, so yeah, we're kind of clearing out all those kind of stupid technical debt that we built up ourselves, one by one. And
You
so the
burp.
monster thing was a kind of a really big thing, but it worked really well for what we needed at that time. But to expand quickly and for other new higher monster guys to learn and build upon it, like that old system is not good for that, right? So that's why we're reinvesting in making a new system.
Gotcha. So mobs will be mostly unchanged for a little while, but the new system is going to bring along some pretty sweeping changes, at least the ability to develop further.
네, 뭐
근데-
몬스터로 플레이하는 것도 할 수 있고 이블 아이도 고칠 수 있고 여러 가지.
Yeah, so the evil eye is broken because of that system right now.
I'm sorry to the evil eye guy.
R.I.P. evil
not-
eye guy, but so it's not just that system.
Not
Yeah,
just
there's
the
a
system, but
yeah.
it's related.
Yeah, it's related to that system.
Gotcha.
So-
Really?
All right, well, there's hope on the horizon for Evil Eye Guy then. Okay, so going into, this is kind of a big one, and this ties into, I think this goes back to like training even, and like subclassing, but it's kind of an all-encompassing question: is will multiclassing or something similar to multiclassing, subclassing,
Oh no, this is
something
big.
like that, either return to the game or like an entirely new system be developed?
Multi-classing.
네, 그러니까
Okay.
멀티클래스는 이제 지금 말할 순 없지만 엄청 휴지 프로젝트의 그 일환이에요. 그러니까 그 연결돼 있는 거. 그러니까 이 멀티클래스 하고 있는 이유가 있는데 지금은 이제 말하지 않을 거고.
Yeah.
네, 멀티클래스는 앞으로도 이벤트로든 뭐든 계속 있을 거다. 근데
Yeah, so-
이건 너무 중요한 거예요. 왜냐면 되게 그 퓨처 플랜에서 우리가 지금 그 빅픽처
I-
그리는
I-
거 중에
yeah,
꼭
yeah.
필요한 거고.
So
근데 서플래스 시스템 이런 것들이나 그 이제 사람들은 트레이닝 빨리 해주고 싶기를 원하잖아요. 근데 그건 좀 고민이 많이 있어서 아마 지금은 포커스가 그렇게 높진 않을 거고
Yeah.
아마 코어 컴뱃 시스템 이런 것도 좀 많이 고치고 나면 그 다음에 아마 생각할 것 같아요.
okay. So so what he's saying is okay, going back specifically this part. Will the multi-class system come back as events? Yes. We know people
Like a
don't
1
like
week,
it.
yeah.
Like
Just
very
1 week,
short-term events. The reason why is because for us is when we do this, we get this kind of
It's a good feedback. for them.
internal data that really helps us kind of clean a lot of things up.
Mm.
Find kind of big loopholes, and at the same time, it kind of battle tests the kind of structure of how our abilities and
Yeah.
how all those.
It's kind of like
And there's another reason. There's another.
it kind of just puts
secondary
their
reason
whole
we
game through the
want
ringer.
to
Is basically what he's trying to say.
strengthen this
To
stuff
test,
is
yeah, to
because,
test for weaknesses,
it's
and
like
it
we-
also highlights
yeah, that's true,
specific
but the
skills that
thing
are
is,
too
we need
strong.
the critical mass of people testing this to find that those combinations that kind of go break that system, right? And because we have plans for augmenting the system in other ways that have to do with the kind of the strategy of the company, right? So,
I think a lot of people are optimistic about subclassing or sort of class trees to sort of expand
Yes.
on individual build identity,
Oh,
but
yeah, and
I
he-
think
he mentioned
multi-classing
that
is
too.
not something people are too excited about.
So yeah, unfortunately, so yeah, there's two kind of needs there. Is like there's the needs of the company and the development and the improvement of the game structure itself. But at the same time, yeah, it does have that kind of detrimental effect on the players, right? So I think this is something we have to be more careful about. But at the same time, it's like the player base going and trying to break that system is so valuable for us, and then it helps us.
We need the
make,
players to break our game, please.
better stuff in the future. But he did mention like the subclass system or the like a training system is that it's always in the back of his mind. It was a high priority at one point, but the thing is like now, he's kind of understood, hey, these kind of systems, they have layers, and right now there's so many super high priority stuff on the combats,
The fundamentals need to be addressed
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, and so now that focus is let's get all this stuff fixed first,
Gotcha.
So bunny hopping, hop swapping, like target sizes not matter, matching up,
Panther head
what is it?
hitbox.
Blocking, that kind of stuff. That if this isn't fixed, like
Everything else
training-
doesn't matter. Right. I got what you're saying. Right. Okay.
it goes this way. Yeah.
So the core systems first, then expanding on the rest, which I think
that's
what most people would expect anyway. Let's get into, we've got some economy and kind of like trading related questions here. What are your thoughts on the religion system? Because we recently just made an update to it. It still hasn't had a ton of impact on the game itself, but it has made a big difference in the market. How do you feel about the massive shift? I mean, 200K is a lot for even players who play a lot. I can't imagine that the average player could afford a 200K skin.
지금 저는 한 10만 골드 정도? 반 정도 했어요. 근데 이 시스템 디자인 할 때 저는 10만 골드 정도 에이밍하고 이제 만들었는데 우리 디자이너도 20만 골드를 원하더라고요.
네.
근데 그렇게 했는데 지금 생각보다 이 골드 싱크가 너무 써요.
Yeah,
너무 써서
so he's saying is when he originally
much,
designed the system, the intention was like, hey, that cat was at 100,000 gold, and right now he's at that level, right? Personally, with his character, and it was like that we probably overestimated, and that the gold sync effect is having too much of an effect.
Too much of a swing.
Too much of a swing, yeah.
네,
And so
그나마
that was our mistake in kind of gauging. So
아마 다음 시즌에 좀 조정될 것 같아요. 이번 시즌에 직접 조정하진 않을 거고.
yeah, so he's saying is so we missed the mark this season. We're not gonna really touch it, and we're gonna try again next season.
Okay.
I don't
have
know.
you ever
I don't know what
considered-
else they could
this is-
really
This is
do.
kind of an
To try to bring the market back.
parallel question to something like a solo self-found. Have you ever considered disabling the market for the first couple weeks of
Yeah.
Of release?
We actually talked about.
we decided next season.
했어요?
Yeah, there
We're
will be
doing it!
no marketplace at the
Beginning.
at least 4 weeks. Maybe.
for
Okay,
the
well,
first
so
month.
So we were talking
This is
about
news.
the
This is
other
the news.
day,
We're just
right?
hearing this for the first time.
W!
No, so Tarkov did this, right? This season, or I think this wipe, right? And I think like it was pretty evenly split between this is great or this sucks, right? But
We're
the
gonna
thing
try
was
it
like,
though, right?
We gotta try it, baby.
that was our thing. It was like, hey, yeah, it could be disaster. So it was like we saw Tarkov, and it was inconclusive. That was our response. Was like, hey, there's very, very passionate people that really hate it, and there's very, very passionate people that really like that, right? And we're like, oh, okay, what's the pros and cons?
Somebody
the
was
thing is, like,
asking. Somebody was asking for clarification. Is that going to include both the marketplace and the old trading system?
Yes. So it's just so that was the thing. It was like, hey, so this is this came up because we're talking about like, oh, okay, what is the original super hardcore vision that you want to establish for like high rollers? But then the effects of the marketplace do have that kind of dilution effect, right? And it was like, oh, okay. So
그리고 이거는 이제 태님한테는 얘기 안 했었던 건데
he's saying this is I'm hearing it for the first time. He never told me this. But
그런 생각이 있어요. 그러니까 예를 들면 보스라든지 그 던전이라든지가 이 시간에 따라서 우리가 지금 위클리 그 퀘스트 오픈하잖아요. 그런 것처럼 스케줄도 된 상태로 이 시즌에 맞춰서 이렇게 천천히 오픈되는 거를 지금 생각하고 있으니까 첫날부터 모두가 다 뭐 보스 킬링하고 네임드 들고 다니고 이런 걸 원하지 않고
yeah. So okay.
뭐 예를 들면 이건 그렇게 될지 모르겠지만 첫 주에는 고블린 던전만 있는 거야.
Yeah.
뭐 그건 이제 생각해서.
So he's just
그런 아이디어
brainstorming, throwing out, but he's like, hey, so okay, it goes back to the issue of like, hey, all this content all at once, right? So
Right.
that's the thing, or is it gonna? Do we want something that, things are like with the crafting system with the quest, how it locks it by the week, right? There is feedback saying that sucks. We want everything all at once, but I think that there is a excuse me, I think first of all, we do have seasons. That's part of the reality of our game. Is like, hey, so can we make this the progression of the season be more meaningful? And so that's the thing that we're kind of exploring. So again, that topic did kind of branch out from the hardcore, making the hardcoreness of the high rollers. But it was like, hey, that's a very interesting question, and we are kind of curious about, oh, okay, how will that change players' behavior? Not being able to sell things right away, right? And again, this is the inception of the idea right now. It's not fully. So he said 4 weeks right now. I was like, whoa, because yesterday, is this even possible or not? oh no, should we do it or not? It's like
Maybe no trading just for HR.
So we'll see again, but that's a super interesting question, and it's just very timely too. So
I see a lot of the streamers in the chat just laughing at each other, saying no more handouts for you. They're all guilty of it. You know who you are. But that's interesting. Hey, I mean, listen, I would love to try solo self-found. I know a lot of I will say, of all the things that we've talked about tonight, the potential of no trade for the first 4 weeks is the thing I saw the most W's in chat for. So we'll take that with a grain of salt.
뭐 근데 재밌을지 안 했을지.
Yeah, so we don't know, but we have our assumptions, and we kind of differ too. It's like, oh,
뭐 해보고.
we'll make an internal bet.
So on the topic of the economy there, this is kind of the last trading and economy related question. Keys have been a big point of contention across the game's lifespan, and in the past, keys were sort of a major part of content. The key rooms used to be where a lot of engagements would happen, and people would use them because they were valuable as usable items. But now their market value, because of gold storage and how much inflation there was, you don't use keys. Even mystic gems, people really don't use them. You can if you want to make a video about it. It's obviously a big content thing. But is there a plan to do anything with keys? Maybe make them drop more frequently. Maybe make them bind on pickups so you can't trade them, or maybe make them much more valuable to use. Anything like that.
그러니까 키를 뭐 더 밸류어블하게 만들고 이런 것도 중요하겠지만 그것보다 아마 이것도 얘기 안 했던 건데요.
So I'm
Only way I see them making it valuable is if the pile itself is specifically gems, and you have basically a guaranteed chance to get at least one legendary gem.
So part of the reason that they're previously they were actually worthwhile using because the drop rate, like if you want the exchange for potential exchange rate or the effective value kind of matched what you could get from the keys. And right now it's just like everything's so abundant. It's like, okay, it's just more of a symbolic thing. But yeah, so internally, so he's saying, oh, I haven't told you this, but it was like we're on the same wavelength.
네.
We think there has to be a readjustment to the reward, risk reward right now.
뭐 조금 설명해주면, 그러니까 지금 이제 드럼레이터 이렇게 돼 있는 거는 옛날에 우리가 이제 기어스코어 시스템 같은 것들이 없을 때 아래쪽에서 위쪽을 좀 빨리 쫓아갈 수 있게 해주려고 이렇게 한 건데 지금은 이제 기어스코어 시스템이 완전히 자리 잡았기 때문에 그렇게 해줄 필요가
필요
없어서
없고 이제는 다 보내야 되는 것도 그
네.
생각이 없어지니까.
그래서 기어스코어별로 뭐 드럼레이터 달라질 수도 있고
Yeah.
뭐 그건 이제 앞으로 또
저는
고민해봐야겠지만
계속 그거를 하고
싶었죠.
싶었죠.
예.
So
그래서
again,
전체적으로 좀 다
Hey, Jorg,
리워드
appreciate the comment, by the way, brother.
yeah. So
그래서
these are things that we had internally.
I'm sorry I'm late on the
discussed a lot.
YouTube
It's
side
like
of
the
things.
Risk
Uh,
reward right now is
I don't know why
very, very skewed.
my
Can you guys see it
multi-chat
again with the
plugin is not
first
working.
version of the
I'll
super
look at it
hardcore,
after stream.
High roller coming out, and people are gonna be like, dude, the reward's
But
not
I appreciate
worth it,
you,
and we
brother.
know that.
You have a good
right? And
night.
it's just not easy to fix all in one go. So I think that's something. That part is gonna be returned to my wheelhouse, right? Or I'm gonna work on it with our lead game designer, right? Is that hey, this is something that we could work on together. But it is a pretty huge kind of endeavor right here. It's
Yeah.
like it's multiple different tables, but that's something we want to address, and the keys are linked to that. And then at the same time, I know the content team now has ideas
Hey, brother.
to make keys more valuable, right? In a different way that kind of links.
Thank you for
this
the follow,
and makes it
Nova.
More fun too. Right?
Well, so here's a follow-up question that kind of links into that, and that's: is there any plan to add like kind of events to the map, or maybe hotspots where like a circle shows up, even if it's in the fog of war? That's like, hey, go here because there's going to be high rewards here. Maybe the loot's boosted. Maybe there's more spawns. Of,
So bad brought that up
sub-bosses.
on the Dark
Maybe you have a higher
Star
drop chance
not
for
too
certain
long.
materials.
I thought it was a pretty good idea.
You know, maybe that could be an indicator for where the key rooms are. Something that people have asked about is like events. Is there
As
any
long as
plans to
there's enough of
maybe-
them where they don't become
maybe
stale.
keys could tie into that somehow.
Also, where's the loot goblin, bro? I want loot goblin. Please,
그런 아이디어도 재밌겠지만
please,
지금은
give me
이제,
loot goblin.
So
네.
that all sounds cool, but it was just like, yeah, we haven't really, like deeply actually thought about that, because it was just like, okay, foundational stuff was like building this game is so difficult because there's all this stuff that we're just kind of
too complex.
yeah, the complexity is so so like and
Terry's answer here basically
you
is
we
yeah,
go
but
this
not right
way,
now,
and then we go
okay?
this way, and then we finally
That's-
we feel
that's
like
basically
we're
he's
getting
like-
better at
he's like, we
that,
got a lot
but,
to
like,
work
random
on.
Dungeons and TM, continuous matchmaking was the result of all of that, kind of searching. But even here, it's like, hey, there's still those complaints about like, we haven't really got the polish down there, right? And so when you bring up something like events right now, it's like those are stuff that we talked about when we were super naive and innocent about, we're gonna make this game that's gonna have everything. But now we are like, okay, wait, we gotta fix this, and everything's like
All the light bulbs
leaking,
are
and
going
it's
out.
like, okay, we'd love to have like the nice.
So in summary, it's from a technical level, it's this is very potentially a really big challenge, and there are other things that are sort of taking priority.
I'll be honest, we don't know. And it's
All
just like right now, we don't have the liberty to even investigate that right now.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's try to get through these next ones real quick because I know SDF needs to get out of here soon. Will luck be changed in the future to have more of an impact, or at least maybe be a little bit more clear? Right now, it's there's luck grades for items, but also your luck value can affect it, so it can be kind of unclear what luck really does. Is there any chances to maybe make it harder to get it, but make it more effective?
So I think the main issue with the current looks, so there is a problem with readability on the luck system, but I think the bigger problem came with we adjusted again. All of this tied into the risk reward system, the loot drop tables, right? Is that it was built with a certain assumption that loot is going to be very difficult across the varying grades.
And then they
But the
turn.
thing is, like,
then they
right
turn
now
the
we just
loot
went,
up.
"Boom," you know.
Yeah, they
And,
turned the loot up, which was a good change.
So
It
the
felt
current
good.
luck system, the impact of it, because it had this assumption that a certain amount of this
Basically being guaranteed to
grade,
get out with a full
loot would,
inventory of purples just by
had a
going
high
to HR
percentage
and
chance
burn
coming
out.
out.
It was a good
What
change.
luck actually does is it does raise the higher ones by a smaller amount, but the big thing that luck, as the current iteration, was that it drastically reduced the rate of low grade items. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, hey,
Which
we
maybe
just
things
gave
that you
everyone
want.
a bunch of luck by just making all these low grade items not,
Right.
drastically lower anyways. So that's why you
Which is why wolf
so
pelts
it
are
does
mega expensive.
warrant adjustment, but at the same time, we've been hinting is that, hey, the entire loot drop system requires adjustment, so this has to be in tandem with that.
Gotcha. This next question that's on the list is something that we've already answered, so we're gonna go and skip that. But real quick, any ideas for kind of end of wipe events? Or any plans to? I've been asked this question a lot. Any plans to let uniques into arena? People are wondering, hey, should I sell my artifacts or should I hold on to them for arena?
어떻게 할까요?
Yeah.
So he's the master of the arenas, right?
네.
Yeah, so he says for sure he wants a unique.
그거 얘기해줬어요. 그러니까
So it's a
그-
missing point there.
그 아레나 시즌 3 시작할 때 이제 SSF 아이템 아닌 것도
Oh yeah.
쓸 수 있을 거예요. 네.
So
Season three.
for yeah. So this is a good point, that important point for the when we start the next arena season within this season, right? Is to get that higher participation for that very last, kind of run of is we're gonna switch on that mode where the item no longer needs to be SSF.
Okay, so
Or-
any it doesn't have to be minted. So we're gonna do like we did last season, where
At the-
this
yeah,
last
near the end
That's
of the-
that's gonna make
okay,
you
towards the
a
end
lot more
people will be able
expensive
to
actually.
wear.
So again, it's
Traded
just
gear.
to get higher participation into the arena because we're gonna stress test that MMR, right? Because we're putting in those kind of restrictions to kind of exploit the MMR system.
Gotcha.
So that was one point that we missed, but that's very, very important.
People are just real quick. People are asking. I'm just gonna let them know. Yes, there will be arena rewards. Not yet. We're still testing. It's not final yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question is a pretty big one, and I think this is something that people have really been asking for a long time. Will there be any updates to the inventory system and any QOL features for inventories? Things like potions and arrows take up a lot of space, but we're also supposed to be getting more utility items. That
Come
were
on,
mentioned in the
STF. I know
past.
you saw my video.
And that could cause a lot of congestion. in
Come
the
on, baby.
inventory. And
No, you
even
didn't
things
see
like
that.
your own stash, gold storage can be kind of frustrating for the casual or average player not being able to get chests and bags. Are there any plans to change player inventory and any plans to change stash, any QOL, things like sort buttons, search functions?
그래서 뭐 소팅이라든지
네, 근데
뭐
뭐 더 중요한
whatever.
거는 그거죠.
퀴버.
네, 클버하고
네.
뭐 그 컨슈머블 배그 이거
네.
이런 거. 네. So
근데 뭐 그거는 중요하지만
Yo, if they actually start talking about skilled throwables, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind.
보고 그다음에
I'm claiming that was my idea.
뭐 해줄 수 있고요.
Okay. 제가 지금 있는. So we're saying okay, we're trying.
I love watching Terry like
It's kind of
translate in his brain
high impact
between two
system,
different languages.
and so
그래서 이건 좀 신중하게 해야 되는 거라 생각은 있고 근데 다만 뭐 급하게 막 추가할 생각은 없고 근데 같이 이제 보면서
Okay.
집중할 수 있는
So-
시간이 필요해요.
Yeah, we just. Okay, we got the little thing notification that this is really, we knew it was
얼른
because every time we play, we're like, oh, man, what I'm. Yeah.
What?
He always complains about.
What are we
When
talking?
he was
I'm
playing Ranger, this was like super high on He's like, oh, dude, even 100 arrows is not enough for arena.
When's the quiver coming?
So again,
Do I send
don't know.
them a DM of the
Okay.
the
It's
idea?
important, yeah.
Chat. Maybe I need to.
Important.
I don't
Real
know.
life is again our strong point is not management. and scheduling yet. So
Okay.
and that's an understatement. So
That's been.
All right, so
It's kind of. It's
the
just
next
kind of
question
is
I
what
got
it
here,
is,
this
right?
was,
It just is
one
what it is.
that
You
we
either
got,
like Iron Mace or you don't
pretty
at this
early into
point.
the Q&A, but then I saw it again repeated it a different way, so I kind of combined the questions. Is there any thoughts on having the leaderboard open up at the start and starting starting to use the is there any plans to bring back the old leaderboard system?
올 리더보드. 뭐 그래서 리더보드는 이제 그러니까
Play
우리가
test.
항상
Play
되게
test
늦게
leaderboards.
시작하는
네,
거.
그러니까 한 달 이번에 한 달 정도 걸렸나요? 그건 좀 안 좋은 것 같고 그냥 전 2주 정도.
Yeah.
그래서
So
바로 시작하는 건 안 좋다.
yeah. So I think the other
그런
problem is starting it right away. So now we actually have new the terminologies, but like when the season starts, we're gonna have like a preseason, right? It's like. And
Okay.
I think that's just because when new things go in, especially when we put in new things, things tend to break, and we need a little bit of time to find those kind of game-breaking things. So I think like this time, it
Yeah.
took a month for us to actually.
At least
open the
they're aware,
leaderboards.
right?
It's like that's not what we wanted. Maybe something like a shortened, like a 2-week preseason. That's
Oh, that's
something
good stuff.
more in line of what we think makes sense. So, but like having it start right as we start the season, I think that's just very dangerous, knowing, our
Knowing that they're
history,
gonna break
right?
something.
Um, speaking both for myself and for the players, I think it's not a secret at this point that people are kind of clamoring for a more impactful leaderboard, and that the AP system doesn't really deliver on that kind of competitive system, and especially if changes are going to come to HR, where the swarm might be coming back and it might be down to portals and stuff. Is there any chance that we see a change to the AP system?
Best
to
thing
bring
they
back
can
something
do
a little
across the
more
board
competitive,
is
a
just
little
make it so
more
you don't lose rank.
Well, so again, the
Once you're in the rank, you don't lose. I would
the
actually
start
push
of
farther than that,
going
but
back to this
after
super
reading your
hardcore
guys'
mode
comments,
only happened very recently, like 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and so now we haven't thought of all the extra stuff that's attached to that. So we had to start thinking about that.
Gotcha.
But again, yeah, that's actually a very good
W.
point.
Terry response though, that was
Okay, well,
short, straight to the point. I give him credit for that.
we
we need
did
to work
get
on it.
through all the questions that we had from there. We have a few more things left to tease, and a few like just announcements.
baby.
I did
Okay.
see some concerns about
Good, I
people talking about like cheating in RMT as SDF
okay, yeah.
message in. Sorry, go ahead.
So we have something in the works. Okay, so it's a serious issue. We always talk about that, and so
Top priority.
yeah, it's been
Trusted account system.
yeah. So we have something in the works called the trusted account system. It's going to be pretty unique to our
Yeah.
situation. Is I mean we've gotten some inspiration from other systems that have something similar to that,
Yeah,
right?
for-
But you'll actually see some of the front-facing stuff coming out even today's patch, right? So we're gonna start
Let's go,
letting
baby.
people know, show, hey, how many people I'm reporting and how many actually bans.
Recount.
Yeah.
Yo,
Leveraging, that kind of system.
we got street cred now.
The community better alert us to suspicious people, and then at the same time we're working on a system is that even when we can't actively be capturing all these people, is that hey, if there's people that have that kind of spider sense and they're really
Oh,
good
that's a
at
W.
finding these people and getting it to us, and then we judge and getting banned, is that hey, we could put them into like a holding area, right?
We will make that guys like a dungeon police.
Yeah. So
He said it,
internally
dungeon
we
police.
call it like the dungeon police. And, again, so you'll start seeing the forward-facing stuff is like, hey, is
As long as it doesn't come down to one
motivate people,
person,
or it's
chat,
not
I'm
just
okay with
motivate,
that.
It's like to give you
As
guys
long as
the
it's
right
not
feedback
one person
of
who's
like,
trusted
hey,
and saying like, oh, I think that guy's
I'm
cheating,
not
you
just
report him.
abusing the system. So I mean, and the assumption is like, yeah, not everyone's gonna be dungeon police material. But there has to be some feedback mechanism, and so that's the thing. And we're gonna show that to see if player behavior changes, and then use that data to work on this system to help us clean up the
amount of people that are gonna be in people's chests, like,
Yeah, so he has
dungeon police is here, buddy. You better pack up your bags.
We gotta kind of
Wrap it up.
Wrap this up now.
Okay.
Show
in
us the
that case,
teasers.
Jerry,
Show us
do
the
you have to go
teasers.
as well.
뭐 어떻게 할 거야? 근데
뭐?
그러니까 그 다음 회의 있는 거요.
이제 끝?
네.
빨리 끝내야 돼요.
So yeah, he was because we have to get the patch ready. So it's, you know.
Show us the
I could
teasers.
probably
Let's wrap it up.
Go along.
I can finish things up from here.
Okay. Okay. 아니 그래서 라인 이제 해줄 수 있다. 우리,
Okay. All right. Well,
All right. So
thank you guys
sorry
for joining us.
We're gonna just get a quick bite, and then hopefully we can get the
Patch
update
coming
out
up
pretty
soon
soon.
Soon as SDF is done munching, boys.
Well, thank you
New
guys very
patch.
much. We, while you guys are here,
Yeah.
just so everybody knows, our part of the communication strategy is to try to do these a little bit more frequently. They will most likely be smaller in scale so that we don't have as much of an impact eating up the day, but we will like to try to do some larger, like maybe one a season where we do like really big reveals and stuff. But I'll let you guys get to it. We'll wrap up with just a few of the remaining previews that we've got, and we will call it a night. But thank you guys very much for being here for the Q&A, and
Yeah.
good luck with the patch.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Again, I apologize being long-winded and just talking so much abstract stuff, but I think having that context really matters.
Wholesome Terry,
Next time,
okay?
hopefully-
Wholesome.
next
Anyone who
time,
talks smack about Terry, we got
have
beef.
much more actual concrete
Alright.
stuff. And
Yes, the homie likes to yap.
It
that's,
was
that's my goal.
But
that's my personal
The dude
goal
puts in
to
hard
get-
work for the
get
community,
better at
okay?
that.
Can you really get mad
it
at
was
him?
a tough episode to get to because of everything else that's been going on.
Yeah,
but
they've been going through a lot.
we'll have it.
Yes.
We'll keep improving on these episodes in the future.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
we'll see you guys soon then. Thank you so much.
players.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
I feel a lot better, you know,
it-
being able to. It's-
Clear the
It
air.
was a rough 2 weeks, man, or 3 weeks. So.
We can feel
Yeah,
it.
but
I've
Feel
got a
it.
few more things to basically just to go over on the community side with everybody and just kind of cover those last couple topics. But if you guys need to head out, I can handle that from here.
you're awesome. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, it's just me now. Well, I'm glad everybody could tune in. Real quick, I just want to answer some questions. I can't go into too many details because I'm not a developer, but I will be able to try to.
Guy
answer
said,
some of the questions in chat. Real
tap
quick, I
me
just
in,
wanna
it's
touch
funny.
base on the remaining topics that we had to talk about, which really wasn't much. The season wipe date is currently planned for April 10th. We didn't.
Oh!
We probably could have done that while they were still here.
Wipe.
But it just kind of slipped them. mind.
April 10th.
To clarify on the Q&A that we did from
Spamming the Discord right now.
there was an open channel where we had asked the community for some questions, and we kind of reviewed and went through to pick out some questions that we could answer. There's some stuff that's still in development or that we can't quite talk about just yet. So there's a limitation on what we can talk about. As far as what we have left to show, I'm just going to give... I don't have too much to talk about here because I can't really give context to it. But there is a new merchant that will be coming soon that has an affinity system related to growth with it. It is the
Let's go.
Cockatrice merchant. And I can show you guys some screenshots of this. I don't have too
Chicken.
many details to give you this.
It's a chicken.
This is something that will most likely be coming with the upcoming wipe. We'll expand more on that in a future update. And there's also something that I accidentally spoiled earlier while I was trying to... switch scenes without you guys seeing it, but you saw it earlier, and it is the cannon that is supposed to be something that is featured
What?
in the water map. So we'll talk more about this stuff in the future. I can't tell you too much about it without Terry and SDF here because I want to make sure that I'm representing the information correctly.
That's
But
crazy.
Get excited. There's some cool stuff on the horizon. We will talk more about this in the future. The next Q&A that we do, we will probably try to do live with at least a few kind of pre-captured questions so that we can fill the space in between while we have the moderators pick out questions in the interim.
Okay.
Terry wanted, or SDF wanted to share these pictures with you guys. There is some construction going on at the office, which is why there was a lot of delays, and this is also kind of getting in everybody's way at the moment. But the Iron Mace offices are undergoing construction. Just to give you guys some assurance, we're not going anywhere. There's still still plenty of investment being made into the company, and
Cool
there's
sign.
confidence that we're going to keep developing the game. So they are working on expanding the office. Hopefully, we'll be back to full operating capacity soon.
I know, dude.
That is
Guns and Dark and
basically
Darker
it for
before
me.
GTA
I
6 is
will
crazy.
Sign off by saying, as I mentioned before,
Crazy.
there's going to be increased effort in communicating with our player base, and that includes.
That's good.
as
That's the main
Terry and
thing they
SDF
need
were
right
talking
now.
about the
Because the
the
true
Dungeon
fans of
Police.
the game,
There's also
that's
some
what
other
we
things that
need,
can't quite talk about
honestly,
yet,
even more than an
with
update,
trusted
we just need
reports
transparency. We just
and,
want to know what's going
just
on.
Gathering feedback and making sure that we're staying on top of bad actors to keep the community clean. So we are refocusing on these things, and this will be a big priority going forward. We appreciate you guys being patient as we figure out the best ways to do this, but we are committed to cleaning up the community and getting rid of these people. We apologize for, all the disturbances that they've caused up to this point, but that is about it, guys. I will see you all in the chat. I'll follow up and try to answer some questions in chat, but I need to get off here myself. So I will see you guys all in the Discord. Thank you very much for tuning in. The VOD for this will be uploaded on YouTube, so if you missed parts of it, you can check it out there. We love you guys. Have a good night.
Let's go. All right. Well, that was it. That was, in fact, the devcast. That was it. How about that? Oh, I gotta be honest. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. People are still in the chat. Someone said 12-hour downtime incoming. I don't believe that. Okay, maybe I do. We'll see. So, I would try to remember this off the top of my head. For those that are still in chat, before you guys, if you want a summary, my understanding is that tonight we were getting a patch, like ASAP. Like SDF and Terrence are like literally going to get, I'm assuming, what is lunch for them? I think it's lunchtime for them right now. So they're getting some food in their system, and they're basically just full speed ahead, getting the patch ready to launch. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be another like 3, 4, 5 a.m. if you're like East EST like I am. I think it's going to be an early morning patch, and the game will probably be up 7-ish. Maybe 8, 9, 10. I don't know. We'll see. My guess is going to be about 4 or 5 hours. With what it sounds like they have to add, if there's no big, huge hiccups. But they're adding in, if I heard correctly, Goblin and Ruins randomization maps. So Fog of War is now officially in every aspect of the game except for Ice Caves. Ice Caves is the only map that will now currently, will be the only map that does not have Fog of War or map randomization. Goblin Caves and Ruins apparently will have both of those things. I think they said Goblin Caves. I'm pretty sure. And so we're going to see that. I'm very skeptical about Ruins randomized dungeon. Because even the official map had multiple issues with wall jumps. Wall jumps is one of the main issues with Ruins. That's why you see so many third parties in Ruins. Because you can literally traverse, say you spawn top right, you don't have to open a door until midway, and that's one door. You can get to the bottom right of the entire map by opening one singular door. Everything else has a jump spot, so you can just run straight top to bottom with no issue whatsoever. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to have Ruins randomization with Fog of War, and also I'm pretty sure they said Goblin Caves as well. We're going to be seeing we're going to see a mini wipe specifically for Arena, and that Arena rank was going to reset. They're going to do a pre-season, a season 3, which is a pre-season. As Terrence said, it's like a season 2.5 for what basically will be basically day 1 of the official wipe, which, by the way, Wipe is announced. Wipe is now on April the 10th. April the 10th. That means we have 1 month and 1 week until Wipe. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks from today. We have the official Wipe for Dark and Darker, which was announced as well tonight. Not as big of an announcement as I thought. Odin just slipped it in there. But yeah, we caught that too. What else is there? Biggest W of tonight by far is got to be the guild halls, man. Sorry, I shouldn't call it that because it's not technically that. But the working on the gathering hall, dude, that gets me so excited. That gets me so excited. If you didn't see it, you're just gonna have to watch the VOD back. I'm sorry. I may actually, I don't know if it's wanted. I may just do like my thoughts or something like that, or just a short video. Minor effort just to kind of summarize everything. I may put a video together. We'll see, but because I still have to work some this week in the office. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. That the guild halls, the fact that is actually so much farther in development than I thought it would be. I got to be honest. If they give us quality of life stuff, balancing patches and fixing bugs, and just that as new content, I will be the happiest person. I will be the happiest person. Just having, like Terrence said, just having a place where you're not sweating, but you're still, in a way, you're still kind of engaged with Darker and Darker. Just having a moment where, like, if you want to sit down, I think he talked about playing chess at one of the tables. I don't think I've played chess for like 2 years. You best believe, bro, I'm about to be maining some chess in some Dark and Darker. And they need to, I think they should lean into it. They've gone through a bunch of mess, so take this time to just, all the emotes that we have, maybe rework the emotes that we have in the main lobby, work them into actual, like, in-game, like when you're sitting at a table, like all that kind of stuff, and then add more for us to buy. Like, from me, this is me specifically, because it's not going to take up more dev time, because they have specific people that work on this, I know, that is not the main devs. But, like, add stuff, man. Let us support you. And, like, that's going to be... Oh, man, that's going to be so dope. That's going to be so dope. I want to know how we're actually going to rent these servers. But for someone like me, I already now have enough friends in the Dark and Darker fan club that us pitching in together, we can... I do not see it being that pricey, in all honesty. Just covering just basic costs and stuff like that. But I think that'd be dope. I want to be, like I said, I want to be able to play some form of mini games while sitting at the tables. I want to fully I want to experience VoIP again, man. Like, VoIP hasn't been the same. So, like, just like, even though most of it's cringe, like, I just want to see someone role playing in the guild hall again. I just think that'd be hilarious. Or I want to be able to when one of the boys starts acting up. When one of the boys starts acting up and wants to challenge you, let us 1v1 and, like, make it so that you could put on some kits. Like, you can even put on kits, and then it maybe, like, it does, like, instead of dying, you just get knocked or something like that. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Or, like, if you land a hit that would have been a killing blow, it just, like, pops up there and just says, like, he won because he would have killed you or whatever. But yeah, add in 1v1 stuff, man. All that kind of stuff. That's what we need. That is what we need with this game. So, anyway, I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me. The artwork you're seeing on the screen, by the way, is made by none other than Silent Soul in the Discord. Or I guess I can add him here. I don't know, but he is a Ghost Waffle on Twitch. So, go check him out. I don't know if he's got socials or not. I'm gonna have to bully him into promoting his stuff more. I'm gonna get homie a job. But wonderful art. Thank you guys for all the lending me your. Well, I'm taking that from One Peg tonight. Whoops, sorry One Peg. Just rolled off the tongue though. Thanks for lending your eyeballs to me tonight. For all the support on the most recent video. Let me pull that up real quick. Where's my thing at? The video. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted. This side, right? Yeah. There we go. For those that have seen and have watched the most recent video, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. Where it be at? Oh, I can find it somewhere. You know what? And I think this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish tonight off in the best way I know how, and that's by watching a recent video. If you guys haven't seen it, I pray that I ask that you would go watch it. I got my words twisted. I ask that you would go watch it, and I do pray that you've had a wonderful week thus far, and that the rest of your week is great. And without further ado, let me actually fix this. This is the most recent. Here we go. This is the most recent video from the solo YouTube channel, and I will leave you guys with this. I appreciate all the love and support, and I really ain't got nothing else to say. So, without further ado, y'all have a good night. I'm throwing. Hang on. I'm throwing. One sec. Can you tell I don't do this? You can tell I don't do this. I've never done this before. Yeah, I got my music still going. I was like, wait a minute. That's funny. All right. Now we go back. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all have a wonderful night.
W healer. Dude, do that. Bacon's 1v1 in Skyrim. Wakey. Dodging him and hitting him. It's insane.
Oh, we got him! Let's go, baby! Win the Ranger fight.